Hello and welcome to Garblag Games. My name is John, and today we are going to be taking a break from our festivities, taking a break from Christmas and friends and family, instead delving into the world of heresy and debauchery as we play Black Crusade. Yes, we are coming up to Christmas, but instead of presents and stuff like that, we are going to be rolling some dice and playing some games. So, my name is John, and I'm the DM, and to my left is...
Hello, I'm Keith. I'm going to be playing a heavy weapons Chaos Marine called Zerg.
I'm Sam. I'm accidentally playing a Thousand Sun Sorcerer, and I couldn't think of a name, so I've decided to go with Jafar.
Hi, I'm Roger. I am playing Garston, the Dark Angel Aspiring Champion.
I'm Liam. I'm playing a Raptor, chosen, type, hitty person. I don't have a Disney-themed name,
Oh,
because I can't think that quickly. My name is Isidorios.
Isidorios Hades.
So
Why
yes,
not?
we are going to be playing Black Crusade, which is Final Fantasy's 40k setting.
Fantasy Flight games.
Fantasy Flight, sorry. But instead of Space Marines and Rogue Traders and Inquisitors, we are playing Chaos Marines, so the other side, an evil campaign.
Let's be bad guys.
Yes.
We've got skulls on our uniforms.
We're also going to take
the
a
Imperium.
bit...
Everyone has skulls on.
We're going to take a bit of a deviation from the actual setting of Black Crusade, and we are setting it in the modern 40k timeline. For those who don't know, the 40k timeline recently got split literally in half. A huge warp gate called the Cicatrix Maledictum split the galaxy in two, and in one half you have the Imperium, and in the other half you have the Dark Imperium. And since this has happened, loads of Chaos warbands have been spilling out of this huge warp gate.
Do they all have beards on the dark side?
No,
No, but they are all British.
they are all British, that is true.
Literally.
So, our characters are going to be playing as part of a warband called the Black Widows. Now, the Black Widows are a warband based in the Screaming Vortex, which is a huge warp storm just on the other side of the Cicatrix Maledictum, in the Ultima Segmentum, so the heartland of the new Imperium. And they are led by a character called the Lord of Spiders. He is the head of your warband. And you raid and plunder the Imperial worlds. You are a Chaos Space Marine warband. Now, unlike the very well organised and very well supplied Imperium, Chaos Space Marines have a harder time getting hold of things like ammunition, food, water, basic supplies, because you have no base of operations. So everything you have has been raided from the Imperium. So it's basically going to be a tale of survival to see how long we can survive the Imperium with low ammo. So good luck.
I don't need ammunition.
Indeed. So, but we don't start with you, brave heroes. That is not where we start.
Brave heroes?
Every great story, we have an epilogue. So we
villain's the hero
actually
of his own
start
story.
with
Don't you mean prologue?
prologue. Sorry. Back to front.
I suppose you're wondering how we got this far.
Yes. There's a record scratch.
24 hours.
24 hours earlier.
So we actually start with Nero Gaul, who is an Auspex officer, a second-class Auspex officer on a waypoint station called Peregrinius. Now, Peregrinius is a waypoint station in between a system of planets and the Mandeville Point. The Mandeville Point being the spot where you can go basically to hyperspace, to warp speed, using the warp. And the Peregrinius is used as a way station, so ships that leave the system, the Oratus cluster, and go out towards the Mandeville Point can stop off here on the last trek before heading into the depths of the warp to go on their various journeys. Now, the Critias Maledictum is quite close to this. You can see it in the sky, a huge rent in space. But everyone on the stations is under strict orders never to look at it, which is hard when it takes up half the galaxy. So most of the real viewports on the station are closed at all times until the station can turn around and then they're open again to face towards the system's sun. Basically to try and stop people staring into the warp, which is not a good idea.
So we're staring into the sun instead.
Yes. The sun is so far away, it's only a tiny speck on the
You can either look at the sun and blind yourself, or look into the very depths of hell itself and go wibbly.
So Nero's job, he identifies and he tracks incoming ships to the station. So ships coming in from the Mandeville point and ships coming in for the Oratus cluster, reporting them to wider control room. He is basically a speed tagger as people go past.
Air traffic control.
Yeah. It is a terrible job and he hates it. And he's been doing this for 4 years. And today is like any other day. He's sat at his console looking at a screen of randomly sorted code as he tries to scan it for data. And he's flicking through things.
Negative goes right at the panel's full.
Exactly. However, there is a blip on his station. Now, the station has currently only got one ship docked. A rogue trader vessel called the Light of the Covenant of Man. A huge transport ship. This is not like other rogue trader ships that are decked out in guns and for exploring. This is a huge transport ship, a big, heavy bulk of a ship. And it's currently shipping servitors from the penal colony, Hesperix 4, off-world. And so it's stopped off at the Peregrinius station for a last-minute stop. And it's the only ship here. All the crew are still on board. They don't expect to stay here long. But a blip appears on Nero's screen. And he rubs his eyes, checks this shouldn't be happening, he thinks. No ships are scheduled to come in. He checks his journal. No ships are coming in. The only ship leaving this sector of space is the Light of the Covenant Man, which is still scheduled to dock for another 3 hours. So he pings his Auspex again. A ping goes out, and again a return comes back, a short pin. And it shouldn't be there. So he calls over his superior. His superior being a stumpy woman called Miggs, who trots over on big fat chubby legs. "What is going on here, second-class Auspex Officer Nero?" I'm sorry, miss, but I've seen to have got a return." "A return? At this time there is no scheduled return to this station for another 3 solar cycles." But Nero points out there is definitely a ping on the Auspex. "Oh, this is very irregular," says Miggs. "I shall have to check it with our duty records." So Nero types away and brings up the Auspex scan, and it scans as an Imperial ship. It is a Astartes strike cruiser, reading as the Sword of the Imperial Truth, a vessel registered to the Lamenters chapter of Space Marines. However, that is not the identity the ship is beaming out. As they track the ship and lock onto it, they get a return ping from the Sword of the Imperial Truth, but it is distorted and old and crackly, a crackly identification that simply beams it as the Acumantula, which is not what they have on their register. So we flash over to the ship, the Acumantula, a huge black shard of a vessel screaming through space. It is blacker than the void around it, and it seems to block out the light as it passes through the stars. Looking closely, you can see it's an old and battered ship. This vessel has taken some heavy damage over the years. It's been patched up, roughly, but it's horrifically damaged. It's also covered in what look like thick black webs that seem to defy reality. Big black webs that stretch all along the underside of the hull. They're glistening and they look sticky when you look at them. On the side of the ship is a huge red hourglass emblazoned on the side. This is the Acumantula, and it is your home. The home of the Black Widow's warband. Now, the bridge of the Acumantula is a tiered dais, so it has a centre dais with tiered seating going up like a Colosseum of old. And in the dais are around 60 Space Marines, including yourselves. Around it are mortal crew and servitors working hard, but the illuminators in the top of the ship don't work very well. Well, they do work well, but they're again covered in thick black webs that blocks out all the light. So the only thing that lights the crew dais are their consoles and candles that the crew can find. And they're all very busy because having 60 Space Marines in the bridge has only really happens on very important occasions. Now, in the centre of the dais is the stratagem, a huge hololithic table, which shows a hololithic image of the Peregrinius and of the Light of the Covenant Man docked at it. All the Space Marines are standing around, and you can see them. They're all Black Widow Space Marines. Now, the Black Widows are split up into several different units. They're called rings in the Black Widows. There are 8 of them, and you are first ring, the head of the spider. So you are the prominent members of this warband. Only one step down from the Spider Lord and his entourage of Black Widows, his elite bodyguard. The Black Widows are standing at the head of the table. There's 8 of them as well, all hulked out in huge Terminator power armor with horns and tusks splitting off. They're also covered in webs as well. Their entire shoulders are filled with black webs, and you can see the little scuttering of demonic spiders crawling in and out, but they don't seem to bother the Widowmakers. At their head is the Spider Lord. The Spider Lord is the head of your warband. He is 2 heads taller than the Terminators, still decked out in plate but swollen to a grotesque size, with a huge cape of black silk, lightning claws in either hand that are currently sheathed. He's not wearing a helmet, and he's got a very heavy scarred face and completely red irises as well. This is a Space Marine who's been blessed by the powers of chaos. Around the table, looking around, you can see the other leaders of the rings. They're the ones closest to the table. So second ring is led by Apothecary Ara. He is formerly of the Red Corsairs. Now, apothecaries are really rare in the in Chaos Space Marine warbands. Highly sought after. And so Ara is quite high in the Spider Lord's affection. If it wasn't for you, he'd probably be in first ring. But right now, he's content with leading second. Third ring, stood next to him, is a huge bulk of Bora Nyack, the huge assault specialist. He used to be a world eater, and you can see every now and again his head twitches as the butcher's nails, these implants into his brain that cause him to seek out violence, twitch, and every now and again he guns the chain axe that he holds in his right hand. Fourth ring is led by Marius Quinto. Now, Marius used to be a loyal son of Guilliman, so one of the most loyal Space Marine chapters. But him and his entire squad were cut off by the Imperium, by the Great Rift, 100 years ago, stranded in the Dark Imperium. And since then, he has fallen to chaos and joined in with the Black Widows. You can still see on his forehead, he's carved the Ultramar of Guilliman, but it's been carved over by a 8-pointed star of chaos. Now, Quinto is a loyal follower, but he is also a strict, still a stickler for Imperial strictness. So he's stands quite tall. His armor, unlike everyone else's, is quite pristine and Black Widow's armor with a red chest piece, like all of you have. Fifth ring is led by Anastates you only know as the Swordborn. He used to be a Dark Angel, but now he's a Black Widow, like you all. He hardly ever speaks, but is a master in swordcraft. Sixth ring, stood a bit away from the others, is Vol Valak, formerly of the Word Bearers. He now leads the Black Widow's contingent of possessed Chaos Space Marines. Seventh ring is Norma Keen, formerly of the Fire Falcons. Now, he's a stern veteran who favours flamer weapons, and all his squad behind him seem to have some variation of flamer or melter weapons. And last but not least is 8th ring, led by Bronze Stonebreaker of the Iron Warriors. He is the heavy weapons specialist of the entire warband. And now everyone's talking over each other, talking at their fellows, looking at the holographic and making suggestions, until the booming voice of the Spider Lord booms out from the head of the table. This way station is called the Peregrinus. And as you can see here, he gestures at the hololift, the light of the Covenant of Man, the Rogue Trader vessel, and our target. The ship is full of servitors that we desperately need, and so we will take it, brothers, with fire and blood. And there was a huge roar from all the Space Marines standing around. 3rd, 5th, and 8th ring will assault the station and destroy the gunnery decks. The station is protected by turrets and servitor man gun drones. These both need to be eliminated. 6th ring will aim for the main control bridge on the station and destroy the servitor control rays. 2nd and 7th ring will disable the docking mechanics to prevent the light of the Covenant of Man decoupling from the station and fleeing into the void. They will then enter the ship and round up all important assets. Fourth ring will disable the engines of the Light of the Covenant, and first ring, he looks at you, will assault the bridge. We will be assaulting via boarding pod, and I trust that you all will complete your mission in no less than one solar rotation. That's the time it takes for the station to turn around, so one side is facing the sun and the other side is facing the Crucius Maledictum. Takes about 2 hours for the station to do that. He looks at all the rings and takes in all the leaders. Does anyone have any questions? The leader of fourth ring, Maris Quinto, steps forward and goes, "My lord, my squad is the most efficient. We should take the bridge. Let first ring disassemble the engines. We will not fail you." And the Spider Lord looks at you and goes, "Quinto thinks he can take first ring's place, does he? What do you say?"
He can try.
Maris Quinto,
Looking for a fight.
his squad draw all their weapons, as I'm guessing you do as well.
No, just gonna stand there, perfectly calm, resplendent in my perfectly clean plate.
Enough of this. Maris, you will have your chance, but for now you will take the engines like I ordered, and first ring will assault the bridge. I expect you to be ready in 15 minutes in the docking bays. Your boarding pods are being prepped now. And with that, everyone leaves. They all storm off to various parts of the ship where the boarding pods are kept. Half on the port side, half on the aft side. So you head off to the port side torpedo pods. As you get out of the bridge, you hear a call from behind you going, "First ring." Turn around and it is Quinto. "I hope you think that was clever, showing me up like that in front of our lord."
All I'm going to respond with is a smile.
I will.
At which point I'll turn around and keep walking.
Oh, shunned. Fair enough. So you get to the boarding torpedo pods. Now these are standard Imperial boarding torpedoes.
It's the same side as fourth ring is leading from.
Sorry? No, this is not the same side fourth ring is leading
That's
from.
a shame.
With you see...
Shame if something were to happen to them.
You see that second ring, Apothecariara, and seventh ring are getting into boarding pods. Third, fifth, eighth, and fourth are leading from the other side of the ship. So, these boarding pods are standard Imperial design, but they have been in use for about 100 years and not really well maintained. They're old, they're rusty. Three of you, this is very far from Legion tech. This is very much a downgrade. You're used to it, being a Chaos, a member of Chaos Warband for a few years now, but three of you who have fought the Long War, this is a big step down. But again, you're used to it. You've fought in the Long War for nearly 10,000 years, so...
She may look like a piece of junk, but it'll make 0.5 fast light speed.
Clambering in, there is enough room in here to fit 10 Space Marines. And this shows how devastated the Black Widows are. You should have 10 Space Marines in here, and you can barely fit four seats. Yeah, there's room to stretch.
Leg room. Definitely leg room. This seat is for my bolt pistol. And this one's for my chainsword.
I was going to say, I've got my lance cannon on this one. Seatbelt round it.
So
Always make sure you strap your weapons in.
You'll lock into the boarding pod and key in the command code, and you're primed to fire.
Or sitting in the front.
In front of your hololithic appears, showing the Accumentalist progress. You can see as the ship approaches the Peregrinius, the void lights up with las cannon fire. The ship is mounted with forward-facing las cannons as well as torpedo batteries. It has no fight contingent. It hasn't had a fight contingent for a long time, so it's very vulnerable to fighter attack. And as you watch, a swarm of gun-manned servitor drones spill out of the Peregrinius and start strafing the Accumantula. It has turrets on its batteries which start to open fire, and a huge exchange of fire goes between the two ships. A countdown starts to appear in your visors, or you're all wearing your helmets, I assume.
Yep.
Yeah, why not?
Well, you don't have to.
Helmets are big and clever.
It
the
starts
fresh smell
counting
of
down
space.
from 60. You hear a chunk, 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 chunk as the boarding pod is cranked into position by slave crews. Hundreds of decks below you, but they're cranking
pretty much.
it. Chunk, 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 and it locks into the side of the ship. On the hololithic, the Akmanshida twists first to the aft and fires a huge swarm of torpedoes. And in those torpedoes, tracked on the hololithic, are the other rings. Second. Oh, which rings did I say? Second, seventh, and fourth will go screaming off into the void. And about a couple of seconds later, they hit the Peregrinius. It then chunks to the other side. The entire ship swerves around, a huge sort of handbrake turn, if you will. So it lines up with the light of the Covenant of Man, which all its lights has come on, is trying to initiate an emergency departure. But with a huge jolt and a bone-crushing snap, the pod shoots forward into the void. You can see your tracker on the holographic. There is huge amounts of turbulence. You're being buffeted around. A human spine would have broken instantly as soon as they were fired, but you're Astartes and can take this sort of punishment.
Power armor is useful.
Yeah, there's loads of noise. It's crashing and banging as the boarding pod screams towards the light. You get about halfway.
Don't go into the light.
You get halfway to your destination when there is a huge, loud crunch on the side of the boarding pod, and you feel the entire boarding pod shudder as it jerks to one side.
That'll be fourth then.
Maybe. You can see once you've regained your bearings, all the pods are streaming, but you have gone way off course. Something has hit you. You're not sure what. Could have been a gun drone servitor. Could have been another torpedo. But something has hit you, and you're spinning wildly out of control. Still
Like
heading
to get out and push.
Still heading towards the light. And there is a massive jolt as you slam into the ship. The melters in front of the boarding pod explode and cut a deep hole, a deep gouge into the light of the Covenant of Man. This is, even for Space Marines, this is quite disorientating as it goes churn, 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 churn through meters of deck plating until it comes with a mighty crash and to a stop, and all you can hear is hissing of the superheated metal outside as it begins to cool. And you're all still locked into the boarding pod, so what we're going to do?
Release,
I'll
press the
fix that,
release
yeah.
captain, dash through.
Hit the door.
Hit the door release. There is a huge clunk as the ramp falls down. The ramp is situated at the bottom of the boarding pod, so it crashes down, and a bright light fills it. You charge out. Now immediately you're not supposed to be here. This is what looks like some kind of hangar bay, and you were aiming for the main Imperial archway through the ship, so the main corridor through the ship.
Have we got communications with the Acromantia?
With Acromantia, yes, you can still get communication with the
I'm going to
Acromantia.
ping a communication back and say we were hit by something, we've knocked off course, we're in a hangar bay, we're still proceeding on mission.
In the hangar bay, there is lots of fire, mainly, as your arrival exploded a few things.
Space is cold, yo.
Indeed. There's also a lot of servitors who are either continuing with their allotted task or on the floor splayed out.
We're here for them.
A few mortal crew are around and screaming and trying to head towards the exits. There is currently the main exit out of this hangar bay is straightforward, but there's also other doorways to either side which probably lead to other hangar bays in the...
I'm going to quickly chase down the nearest mortal and be like, don't worry, we're here to help. Which way to the bridge?
Roll a charm test.
You say it's a hangar bay. Are there other vehicles and stuff in it?
Not that you can see. No, it's just mainly storage. You can see a lot of big, huge storage sections.
Well, we're not in the right place. Jump in. Go to the...
Knock on the window.
I've probably got...
you
We're
like
here
to
to
see?
help! Oh,
What did you roll?
84.
We're here to help, he says as it comes out of a wet demonic growl.
Yeah, and unfortunately your vox emitters are about slightly too loud for a mortal who is already pretty stunned, and he faints in your arms. You throw him and he goes tumbling off.
I'm just running at full pelt for the main door.
the main door starts to crank open. It cranks open on a huge kind of upward arc, and out of it spill what look like the ship's guards. Decked out in balloon fatigues with glorious silver breastplates. They look like silver pith helmets with huge red feathers coming off the top. Gaudy,
Fancy.
to the extreme. But they are holding what looks like pretty stern las guns. They see you, and there's a moment of oh shit before they raise their guns, and we roll initiative.
Okay. Now, I do believe I've got lightning reflexes. I do, so I get to roll them, and I'll pick the 10.
13.
So let's go around. We've got Zerg,
Lightning reflexes, roll 2d10, pick the highest.
Jafar, Gaston, and how do you spell your name?
Hades.
Responsible adults.
Right.
Where?
So let's roll for some
I
guards.
wasn't told there'd be responsible adults here.
We run a LARP.
Among other things.
I look after children.
We run a LARP.
Yeah. Fair.
Like actual children. Not just John. Or Roger.
I am technically an adult.
I was going to say,
Only on paper, mate.
I
am legally an adult.
You're only like 1 month younger than me. Aren't you?
I think I'm older than you.
Is it you're 1 month older than me? One of them.
Right, so Zerg, what we got?
14,
14.
I think. Unless I've got any more bonuses that I don't know about.
Jafar,
12.
Gaston,
14.
Ooh.
and how do you pronounce your name?
Isidorios.
Isidorios.
Hades.
Just pretend,
13.
Just
13.
pretend you're playing Odyssey.
Okay, so first of all, we have Zerg and Gaston. Who's got the highest agility out of you?
47.
Zerg.
That'll do it.
Zerg. So
I
the doors open.
Zergrosh?
The,
Yay!
the troopers run in and raise their las guns.
It's fine. Zerg turns around and points his heavy bolter. His
that's good.
Legion bolter.
Oh, Legion Bolt, you're not even using the las cannon.
I mean,
There's no kill like overkill.
if I had blast, but they're a group, aren't they? They probably constitute some sort of small horde.
They're not a small horde, there's only 10 of them, so...
But again, if I had blast, I would be like
Or a heavy bolt just.
So you
down.
whip up your Legion Bolter.
Legion bolter.
Yeah.
I've had him.
We're going to shoot, so roll your ballistic skill. Just want to shoot one of them, or...?
Is full auto. I've only got single or 3, so it's only burst. So I'm going to take.
But they're semi, not full auto.
Yeah, you've got semi-automatic. So for
So-
plus 0 to your ballistic skill, but every 2 additional degrees of success gain another hit.
Yeah, so I can take a half aim then and still do a semi, can't I?
You could do that if you
Yeah,
want
I'm going to take half aim. And
Can you aim with semi auto?
I'm sure you can with semi.
Semi-auto burst, attack,
pause
range,
it.
half action.
Half
action.
Cool.
So you
I mean, doing that though, that's effort.
So what range are they at?
They are about... Well, what's the range of a bolt gun? About 50 metres away from you.
So half range, that's a semi-action with an aim, so that gives me plus 20, so that gives me 2 degrees of success, so
Which
that
gives
gives
you
me 2
a
hits.
another hit. So, yep,
you.
you can either fire at the same guy or fire at a different guy.
Different guy.
Go for it.
Okay, so first hit. Yeah. Ooh.
If you roll a natural 10 on one of those dice,
Which I've done.
it does something horrific. So that,
Hooray!
We like
In a
horrific.
good
We're the
way,
bad
right?
guys. It's this zealous hatred or.
Yeah.
this is Zealous Hatred, which is slightly
Third roll. Zealous hatred.
different.
More rules checking.
You're going to absolutely ruin this guy's
So, Zealous Hatred.
decade.
The attacker rolls a 1d5 and consults the critical hit table of the appropriate damage type. Now, you've got a bolt weapon.
5. Fire.
explosive.
Explosive, which hopefully will be on this. Hopefully. This is a very nice GM screen.
I like these dice.
Page... Explosive, page 250. Bloody hell. We will get to a roll when we don't have to check the rules.
So technically a hit in the 84, which is the
Body.
right leg.
So how much damage did you do first?
Well,
So not including the Zealous Hatred.
oh, not including the hatred. So it'd be D10 plus 9, so 19.
Supposed to roll.
19 pen 4.
Let's just see if he dodges. He does not. 19 pen 4. Cool. So do you... I'm just going to see if you kill him outright, because there's no point in us rolling critical hits.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the critical hit is going to be you blow his leg off. He dies.
No, he's pretty dead. He's pretty dead. So the bolt gun takes him in the upper part of the hip, and it penetrates. There's a brief microsecond delay before the bolt explodes, and takes half his torso with it.
Okay, explosive ones they can't do what SP can do, and
No, as soon as they hit, they all explode.
he
That's
dead.
reactives.
There's a huge bang, and his leg flies off one way, his half torso flies off another.
His mates are covered in gore.
Yeah, everything.
Oh, that's
he is-
true. If it explodes and covers the other people, they might be at minus on their ballistic skill test.
He is very dead. Second one, a different target.
Only a measly 17 pen 4.
17. Did you roll a 10 or anything?
No.
No, 17 pen 4. Still enough to kill him. These guys don't have a lot of wounds.
Oh, hi guys! Boom!
Bang bang! Where did you hit him? 17. Where's the hit?
It'll be leg.
Same location.
It'll be leg body, won't it? Or is it?
What
leg,
did you roll
leg
to
body?
hit the second time?
It's a single roll to hit.
All right. So yeah.
Same leg.
Again, it fires and you take off
Are you
most
shooting them
of
all
the...
in the crotch?
Oh gosh. Most of his
Dick.
lower body comes clean
no,
off.
no. Kneecaps.
So
You're a bit higher than kneecaps.
that is 2 of them down.
They're shorter than I expected.
Next up, Gaston.
Okay, so given I was already running full power at them, I'm going to charge.
Yep, charge into them.
Can you not just trip and fall on them?
I
Good.
I mean,
that would do
Depends
it.
how it goes.
you're if you're in full power armour,
He's gonna try and
body
dodge.
slam
That
something.
wrong.
Yeah.
He failed.
Cannonball.
8. So I bring my mighty winged emblazoned sword,
Yep.
which is a relic from my time in the First Legion, and swing it round into his torso, dealing lots.
Some wounds.
It's a
Lock.
relic from the First Crusade.
Dealing
So it's a
25
blunt
pen
piece
8.
of metal.
So your sword screams round at the power field, buzzing as it cuts through the
25
air.
pen 8.
And like paper, you cut through. He tries to block with his lasgun, and it goes straight through the lasgun, straight through his torso, and out the other side. And he falls into 2 parts. So in the space of 2 seconds, we've had two of the guardsmen explode and 1 cut in half. Not looking good for guardsmen.
Maybe we should ask them to surrender.
But there is a guardman who also
less
rolled
fun.
a 14. Now, first of all, he is going to take a fear check because oh god,
Nope.
he rolled a 15, so he passed his fear check.
Good job, that man.
So he already had his lance gun because they were all raising him, and he's going to take a crack shot at Roger. So let's see if he can hit first. 69, 99. That's what I rolled.
Did we miss that?
So he missed.
Yeah.
At least I hope that's a miss.
Superheated air screams past your helmet, but none of it hits you.
Normal Tuesday.
Next is Isidorus. It is your
Ladies.
turn.
Get him, Hades.
Jump back charge.
Yay!
So there is a huge roar as you ignite the jump pack and scream over.
I mean, to be fair,
What's
do you
your
even-
charge with the jump pack?
At least 36.
Some.
70.
A lot, I'm guessing.
Did we work that out?
Probably about 70 odd.
yeah, it'll be far 70 something. What's your agility?
No, that's a run.
Agility is 40.
About 60 something.
6.
Did we?
Yeah, it doubles for a jump.
No, we didn't write that down.
Yeah, I know.
Just your normal, it's double your normal movement, your normal charge.
We don't have that written down.
We didn't write that down.
Meters-
24.
What's your agility
24.
bonus?
It'll be 48.
No,
then.
24.
No, it's
Yeah, that is double. 24 metres is your charge.
What's your agility bonus?
4.
4. So
then
your
we get
charge
+1 to move
is
because we're in power armor.
12. So your double is 24, like Keith said.
I thought you got +1 with your power armor. Oh, you're doing devil. All right,
What's that?
I'm doing
Plus
it.
1 to charges.
don't worry about it.
It's fine.
We'll wing it.
He charges.
So 24.
Hashtag
I mean, to be fair, if they're 50 metres away, you might as well just, full move or run into combat. That'll take you.
But that doesn't
the
make the
jetpack.
noise.
Yes.
with my jetpack.
That will only take you 32 metres and they're 50 metres
so
away.
keep going.
He hasn't turned it off.
Hasn't turned up. So you're just going to charge forward.
I am the artillery.
Yeah, you could run forward and then next turn attack them. As in, you'd run forward with the jetpack.
Yes.
Yes.
Jetpack, good.
So there's a huge scream, Roger. As you chop this person in half, you turn as the las bolts ping out, and suddenly there's a huge crash as the raptor lands next to you with your chainsaw gunning. More scary Space Marines are attacking. After them, any guardsmen on 13? No, but there is a Jafar on 12.
Are there any, this is the main entrance up towards the bridge, which is where we want to go.
Yeah.
And then these guys have come out. Are there any other, threats going on?
Looking around, you see there's a lot of mortal crew legging it.
That's fair.
So the other doors are open into the other hangars, but through
So
them,
there were some
roll a
servitors?
perception check.
But they're not combat servitors, are they? 38.
No.
I think that's what we're finding out.
Us.
So yes, through you take a glance round through the other doors, you can't see any more of the guards. You just see a lot of scared humans running
Okay,
away,
cool. I'll just advance.
which is fair enough. So you're going to run forward. So you run. Boom, boom, boom. It's quite a loud noise running through this corridor.
Not as loud as a jetpack.
So you run forward 24. So next turn you should be able to charge and get into combat with them, or shoot them, or cast powers, whatever you want to do.
Cool.
Now we have the rest of the guardsmen. So we'll do their fear checks first. So guardsman number 1. He turns and legs it. You rolled a 69 again. So the Nash is favouring you all at the moment.
Yeah.
The next one, he is fine. Next one, he is also fine. He's running away as well. So
We should try and be more scary.
It's pretty easy to be scary.
Understood.
3 guys who have passed their fear check. We clearly need more skin
Right, so
on our armour.
3 of them turn and just start hooning it down the.
No, it's because
the
those
corridor.
3 are too dumb to realise what the hell's going on.
The others are going to take pot shots at you.
Or just slow. It's like, oh!
So guardsman number 8 is going to shoot you, Liam.
Tick, tick.
So
drops.
pew pew pew.
It's like oh.
He is missed.
He will be.
Second
Liam
one's
gets hold of him.
Second one's going to take another pot shot at Roger. He hits you, Roger.
Yes, he does.
I was going to say, is he not shooting into combat?
No, Roger's not in combat.
Oh.
Because he cut
Oh
the...
no, I thought they were all around me.
They're Imperial Guard. They're spread out. They're not in. They're not all
right,
in
okay.
combat with you. Because you.
There's a couple of
killed
gaps.
the
and
one.
some of them ran away.
Yeah.
You did murder somebody.
So
I was
he
going to say,
That's what we're here for.
I was more hoping that it'd be closer for,
I was going to
So-
say, given that they've exploded and been
And
cut in
run away a
half, isn't the area now slick with blood dangerous to slip over in?
well, they're
Why you
shooting.
get dropped back.
So 12 pen 0.
Ting.
Ting.
However, I'm going to turn around and stare straight at that one.
The next one's going to
sword at
shoot
your
at Jafar.
Next, mate.
He hits you as well, Jafar. You have been hit. You're just going to take it. There you go,
I
dodge.
suppose I have a dodge.
There's one,
It could
2
happen.
more to shoot after this. The rest have run away.
I did not dodge.
Oh, 13 pen 0.
Meh. Some. Maybe.
So
No,
take away your
not, is it?
armour,
'Cause
which
my
is
armour-
No, that won't be
Yeah,
enough.
armour's
I
like-
guarantee that won't
Yeah.
be enough.
Next one at you, Keith. Quite a long shot this, but he missed anyway. And the last one's going to shoot Roger again. And he missed as well. So not a great start for the old guard. Back round to the top with Zerg.
Well, there's 3 left.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4 still fighting. 3 are legging it.
Well, let's see if I can get rid of some more of them, shall I?
Are you going to try and shoot the ones running away, or try and shoot the ones still fighting?
Still fighting. Oh man,
Nice.
they dead.
What do you roll?
10.
10. Nice.
So
How many successes?
that's many. That's all of them. That's more than enough.
Many successes.
Because it's essentially
That many.
It's essentially I'm rolling on 68 here, and that's a 10. So
yes.
So now I guess it's going to depend on how close
So
they are to each other.
68 to
it's
5.
5 degrees of success,
5 degrees, so 2 additional hits.
which is all of them.
Well, 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 still in the fight. Sorry, not
So that
3.
one
And they've
last
got to
guy.
be within 2 meters to pass the shot over.
2 of them will be within 2 meters.
Well, fortunately, I'm.
Then there's a Liam and a Roger, and then the other ones.
Don't I have? Hang on, I may have the thing that allows me to walk my shots.
I think that's just a standard rule.
No, there's a talent you
No,
get.
he wants to play Wanted.
Bending bullets.
What did we bring you along for if you're not going to
Meh.
serve his shots for him?
They're not yaks.
Oh, thanks.
Okay. Anyway, so I've hit them in the head. This is all
that's-
headshots.
Go for it. Roll some dice. See if you can.
So you've got your eye and you know how tall they are.
Damage number 1, I hit for
Some
15 pen 4.
Boom! One of their heads
Head.
explodes.
The second one I'm going to hit for. I'm going to use that as my 5 degrees of success. So that's going to be 14 pen 4.
Another one explodes.
And then the third shot is going to be.
Flies where one of them was. Before he went.
I'm just going to keep walking the shots. And the other one is going to be 15 pen 4 again.
Boom.
Whoever's next.
I think that's one of
Wasn't that
us.
one of us?
Yeah, that was Liam. wanna shoot
maybe
him?
maybe not pen, whatever it was, Liam.
No, you're good.
So, Liam, the 2 to your left, their heads both pop one after the other.
And then a round goes very close to you.
Gaston, you have only the 2 to your right or the 3 running away.
I'm assuming that the ones to my right aren't currently within sword swinging range.
You could take a step and get them in sword swing range.
Alright, I will attack them then.
Go.
9.
Space Marine, dodge! No, I rolled a 68,
You're not
which
a
is
Space
one
Marine.
way from a 69. They're dodging the Space Marines.
13. 23 pen 8.
He gets eviscerated by
I
the
mean,
downswing.
why are you using a sword? You not just kick him.
I hit again.
Yep.
Style.
Dodge.
Have you seen his armour?
No. Oh, my agility's 35. I rolled a 30, so he dodges.
28.
Nope.
You can't dodge.
Oh, he can't dodge again. can
Parry! Parry!
With the last talent away.
he? You parry. No. What do you get?
Squish.
They have 10 wounds and 4 armor.
25 pen 8.
He dies as well.
Ooh.
So, you step forward and on the downswing eviscerate from sort of collarbone to hip one of them, and then flick your sword out and take the other one's head off as it bounces down. It takes a second for the body to realise it's dead before it crumples to the floor. There's now only 3 of them legging it for their lives. Jafar. Oh no, it's Isidori's first.
Mine!
So, there's another huge screeching noise as the raptor flies forward and attacks as he hits one of them
Not
in the
batteries, a
back.
seagull. Mine.
Go for it. They're not going to dodge because they're running.
And they're not looking, yeah. Makes a charge action using a jump pack. Do an extra d10 of damage for every 2 degrees of success on my weapon skill test.
Go for it.
Nice. Death.
What do you roll?
67.
And what do you hit him?
My weapon skill is 50.
Oh,
Nil point.
nil point.
You get plus 10 for
Bonus for
charging.
charging.
Oh yeah, plus 10
Still
for
nil
charging.
point.
Use a fate point.
You could
Infamy.
use an infamy
Infamy.
point. Let's just double check.
They've all got it in for me.
What's your
That's embarrassing.
what's your infamy
Just
level?
body check them.
No.
Infamy
Draw
is
frame.
4.
Let's see if it
Stormtrooper.
actually.
Done.
Rewards of Corn. Oh, you could ask Corn for a favour, I suppose. He might say no.
Might say no.
Depends if he likes you or not.
Depends if he likes you.
Would you like some more blood?
Let's have a look.
Did you get distracted
He
by
doesn't
the
like me.
walls?
What calls?
I don't like him either.
Walls bad. Knock walls down.
I got the death sentence in process.
Exactly.
You may
Too busy going-
re-roll any failed characteristic test using the same penalties and bonuses for 1 infamy point. Would you like to do that?
I think he just did.
Did you do it this time? Just.
I was expecting
Right,
you
roll
to say
for damage then.
80 something.
You don't get the plus 10 because you didn't pass. Oh, you did pass by success, didn't you?
No.
Because you charge, you
One,
get charged
one success level, but you
Yeah,
need to.
yes,
Oh, you
because
need
I took
two.
charged.
But you
Yeah.
need 2, don't you?
For every 2 degrees, yeah.
Oh well. So you just catch him.
I'm pretty sure you're going to murderize him.
Yes.
Yeah,
anyway.
but...
Haste.
With your unnatural strength of...
He could fluff it.
Or
I've met me.
Roll 69. Slanesh may.
He's gone.
it's tearing, it's a chainsword.
You roll 2 and pick the highest.
I picked the 10.
He's very.
Squish.
So you charge forward and just again bring down the chainsword on his crested
Right down the
silver pith helmet
spine.
and just right through him. And two halves keep moving forward but separate and flop to the floor with a huge gout of
Spray
blood.
the backs of their mates with a fine mist.
And they're still running. So Jafar.
I'm still heading for the bridge. So,
Well, you've got a fair way to go if you want to
Yeah,
get to
yeah.
the bridge, but
yeah, but
Do you wanna take
we're
a pop?
going in that direction. I am following him. We're going up.
I mean, were there any other vehicles in this hangar?
If I take a
look,
pot
lots
shot
of storage crates.
at one of the other guys in front of him, how likely am I to hit him?
Not the door is quite wide, so you could easily step to the side and
Okay.
fire around them.
Than that.
Or you could summon the powers of the warp and blast
Well,
one.
I could do that, but rules are
I
a
see
thing.
this explosive
bullets.
round heading straight for that little
it's a
tiny
willpower
thermal
test.
exhaust port on the
Okay,
back
cool.
of your jetpack.
No, I should have connected that to the power cord.
What are you going to try and do? What psychic power?
Yeah, I have
You
force
catch the
bolt.
other guys.
Force bolt?
Yeah,
Okay, grab your
Give me that
psychic
extra
sheet.
speed.
what, this one,
No, it'll be in the list of psychic powers.
that one.
List of psychic
Well, I didn't write it on
Now,
my...
that's the thing.
that's
If you
fine,
get
so.
shot in the jetpack and you explode and kill
Order it
people,
is
is that
There
her
you
kill
go,
or yours?
stun-aligned, zinc, and then telekinesis.
Phrasing?
I wasn't listening.
Shot in the jetpack.
Yeah.
Is that phrasing?
Are you
To
using
be-
fair
can we
skill
call
or
that
Have
Jigsaw,
phrasing?
explosive backpacks on.
I'm not shooting his backpack.
We have nuclear reactors on our back.
Yes, but I'm not shooting
Are they
it.
licensed?
No. I mean, they
Is that a
probably.
thing?
Yours might still be in warranty. Ours definitely aren't.
Although we don't want to bust the ghost.
I was just going to do the basic one, which
Doombolt.
is how far away are they?
Arcane missile. probably.
They are about 20 metres away from you.
That's in range.
Yeah.
So I got D10 plus 2
Toss
per
the
side,
five.
so 4, so 80.
Well, first of all, take
I
a
need to roll
psychic
it.
Mortal wounds.
test.
Right?
I can't see what that number is.
Oh, what exciting.
Oh, that was not great. Nope.
What did you get?
63.
Oh, right.
Oh my. Well,
Well, I
Nice.
am borrowing your dice. They don't seem to like me that much.
you could
it's
No, it's
always
fine.
ask Zinch for a favour. I don't know if he'll listen to you.
Well, you
There's
know,
no way that could possibly go wrong.
Can I have a favour, Zinch? Spawn.
I'm fine with this.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I've yet to see the one where it goes critically wrong and the psychic
Or use an
the psychic just goes.
infamy point to reroll
Okay,
it.
well, you know, let's do that.
Or you could use an infamy point to reroll it.
Sure. How many of those have we got?
It's your first.
Oh, I do not have that
What's
many.
your infamy score?
24.
Yeah,
apparently.
2.
I don't know if it was supposed to be higher than that. We just didn't finish making the character. It's fine.
Oh, right. So
Let's
you have
just do that.
two infamy points. So do you want to reroll?
Yeah, I'll reroll. I got worse.
How much
84.
worse?
Oh.
How much worse did you get?
Well, that's a no.
64, yeah?
No, 84.
84, so yeah, so you try to summon the power of the warp,
And fizzle.
but it fizzles
So
out
I
around your
just
your
keep running.
hands.
Perils of the warp?
It's fine. I'm behind everyone. Nobody saw
I
that.
don't think
No,
you rolled
Nobody
fail.
saw
that
that.
It's doubles, I think.
Yeah,
I'm behind everyone. Nobody saw that.
no one saw you try to
I
summon
think
the
you
power
might
of
be
the
in
warp.
front of Keith.
Ultimate cos. Wait, what?
Yeah, you're closer to them than I am. So you kind of,
Really?
you kind of just
Jimmy,
went,
you're like covered in stuff, right? It's fine.
No, he's sat there going, Headshot,
I just showed up.
headshot.
Yeah, I just showed up and went duff 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 duff,
Oh, okay. So yeah, I've run past you.
and then you,
I've run past you and gone nothing, and then carried on running.
Okay, so after you, it's
Smooth.
You don't know what I was trying to do.
maybe you just slid across the
I was-
floor.
Well, we'll
stylish.
go-
Yeah, swish.
We'll go
Starting it out.
out of initiative unless you want to
Blood
chase
surfing.
these last two down.
He does.
Yes.
You don't even have to roll. You can chase them down pretty easily. You have a jump pack and we're a space marine. So
I think it's a race.
as you all move,
I'm gonna fucking kill him.
as the rest of you get to the door, about 50 meters down the corridor, you can just see
Murdering.
Dory is just ripping apart.
Oh, I'm already running after them, so
I'm gonna
Yeah,
wait
but you don't have a jetpack.
down the corridor.
have fun using that in corridors.
Are there any more mortals around that I can ask which way to the bridge?
Most of them have fled by now.
Okay.
One of the dead ones,
Nom
Yes.
nom nom.
helmet comes off,
Where the fuck am I?
plunge my hand into his skull,
Yep.
removing part of the brain matter.
Nom nom nom.
Oh.
You explode. No, I'm joking.
Where's the bridge?
Roll a perception test.
No.
You get vague suggestions, but you can't really tell from.
At the top of the ship.
That guy was an idiot.
Yeah.
That guy has never been to the bridge.
Just kind of flicking the remaining grey matter off my hand. I'm just going to throw the guy to the floor in disdain.
But yes, you are in a hangar somewhere on the light of the Covenant of Man. You don't know where.
Is there a computer terminal anywhere? A cogitator bank. Let's go with cogitator.
Are there any
Yeah.
signs on the wall
Having
saying
been on an
bridge?
Imperial ship before,
Yep. Upwards and forwards.
This is not a standard Imperial ship, though, is it? It's a Rogue Trader.
Can I
vessel.
try and use a cogitator terminal?
But up would generally be.
Up
Yeah, you
and
can
forwards.
try.
towards the
Roll some
back.
tech use.
14, I passed.
I don't know, where did we
I
go?
don't even have tech use.
So you get up a basic schematic of the ship. Now you seem to be on one of the lower aft hangar decks, which means you'll have to go deep into the ship and then somehow get up either through an accessway, a conveyor lift, or something like that to the ventral accessway, the corridor that runs down the spine of the ship, which is where you were originally aiming for. Over the comms, over your vox feeds, you hear reports. Firstly, of third and eighth rings who have managed to destroy the gunnery decks on the Peregrinius, and sixth who has got into the bridge of the space station as well. So their other rings are completing their task pretty quickly. Fourth ring, who is
Marius.
Marius Quinto's squad,
douchebags.
are heading towards the engines of the Light of the Covenant. They're fighting towards the Enginarium. So yes,
Okay, now I've seen the schematics, I'm going to start running in the direction we need to go.
Can you give us a lift?
Before we do that,
There's hangers.
how about we
either
take a
side of us.
shortcut and just go out?
and climb out the void.
Magnetic boots
You do have magnetic boots. This is true.
and a jump pack.
There is a space battle going out. So,
There's a lot of lads fight. I'm just going to start running.
okay.
No, I like this idea.
But there's hangers either side of this one.
Yeah.
Well, Gaston's legged it.
That's
Bye.
fine. That's fine. That's good. We need someone to like dibs.
Distract
and
him.
then...
Okay.
He needs to let us in once we get to the bridge.
So Gaston's running down the
Right.
corridor.
You take him, I'll go with him.
Split out and search for clues. Can only end well.
He's got a sword, I've got a gun.
Let's go for a walk.
He's got a sword, he's got a gun, and a brain.
And there we go, viewers. Players. So, we'll start off with the hand deck. So these two leg it straight down the corridor, and you turn to see if you can find a way out. Now, obviously you're in the middle of a space battle, so the shutters around the to the void are closed pretty heavily. You'll have to find some way of jamming them open. Probably not the one that your boarding pod came through. You'll probably have to go to another hangar bay and open that.
Yes, that one's got a torpedo through it.
That has a torpedo through it.
Who
Whether
put
you
that
climb
there?
out through the torpedo.
It's
Well,
probably
it's a
you
thing
probably
that's
need
like-
you
Yeah,
need
it
some
only opens
specialist.
from one end.
You need some specialist equipment to remove the torpedo. So you head which way? Left or right? Down.
Right. Because it's not wrong.
Oh my. So you charge off into the right hangar bay. You can see retreating. There are humans still legging it. This one seems to be full of huge metal boxes.
Rhinos.
Metal boxes! But there is a cogitator panel up in one of the gangway walks, which looks like some kind of overseer would normally stand and direct the
Away!
cargo.
He's off.
crunch, and you land next to the cogitator
He lands
station.
on the cogitator.
The keys are quite small. You have very large fingers. So take a tech use, but a minus
That's
20.
fine. Combat knife.
To obtain a special dialing one, please smash the keypad with your palm now.
I think that wasn't far from the truth. Do you have tech use?
No.
Failed by
you
many,
can't
many
open
lots.
it. It's not working.
Punch it.
Chewy.
You smash down onto the cogitator, and one of the huge metal boxes hold aloft in a crane on the other side just drops and smashes, splits open, and spills out what looks like servitor parts.
Oh, cool. We want that.
Yeah. Well,
That's
we know
kind
where
of
the
what you
stuff
wanted.
is.
Fluid and biotic stuff is all gone everywhere. It's kind of disgusting, but you're no closer to getting out the ship.
Are there any minions?
They have run away by this point,
All of them.
unless you want to stop.
Like any servitors or... Well,
There's
I
servitors around.
could try being fairly persuasive, I suppose.
You could do. You are very scary.
Yeah.
But are you more or less scary than Roger or Keith?
I think it's a different kind of...
Existential dread. I'm in your brain.
So you get a crackle over the radio, Jafar, from second ring, which is Apothecary Ara. He goes, "Sorcerer, we have finished disabling the docking mechanics and are now on our way to enter the Covenant of Man. What is your disposition?"
Slightly.
Where are we? What's going on?
We're in Hangar Bay number...
347 Class B.
That one.
Yeah.
We've located servitor parts. We are heading up to the bridge.
You get a comm straight from the Strategarium on board the Acumantula. It is the Spider Lord, and goes, "What are you doing so down in the ship's depths? You are supposed to be on the ventral access way."
We're on our way up there now. Our pod was hit by something on the crossing.
Quinto chimes in.
I told them that. I radioed them. I told them exactly where we were.
Oh, interference. He's got a space battle.
He's ignoring you.
Yeah.
I mean, we're important, but we're
My
not
lord,
that
we are nearly
important.
finished in the Angenarium, and I will head up to the bridge as soon as possible, says Quinto over the vox.
Oh, good. I look forward to seeing you there.
"This is 7th Ring Norma Keen. I have entered the light of the Covenant of Man. We will also head towards the bridge." So now it's a race.
Yeah. I mean, it was race anyway, but
Well, it's been more of a race now.
yeah.
So, what are we doing in this docking bay?
Trying to get out.
Well, you smash the controls.
We don't know those are the right controls, though, do we? Are there any more controls I can
There's
smash?
a door control going out of the hangar bay
Can I look for something useful?
with psychic powers.
Not him. Well, yeah, if it works like that.
Harsh, but true.
You could keep running. These hangar
Well, do
bays are all
these run
connected.
kind of parallel-ish anyway? Because if we're still moving our way up the ship,
You are still moving
we're
your way
still
up.
heading
No,
in
you need to go
direction.
literally.
You need to go. They won't get you to the bridge any faster.
no, but like if it's in that direction, we're just not going that way.
Yeah, sort of. You're slowly getting there.
It's pinch movement.
It's not really,
Yeah.
not really good enough. Yeah, I mean, if it works like that, then I'm willing to give it a shot.
So
My
you're gonna-
rolling so far has been fairly abysmal, so
Try the tray.
So you're going to use some psychic awareness test.
yeah.
So make a
You're fine with that.
psychic test.
I did some numbers. They were quite high.
What did you roll?
Not a pass.
But what did you roll?
60.
6-0. Okay.
Are you looking for doubles?
Well, I was.
I'll try harder.
I wanted things to happen. Demon. No,
Maybe if you read them the other way up, it could be 9.
it could be 9. So now roll a normal perception check.
95.
Nice.
No,
I see him.
you don't see anything.
You close your eyes.
But meanwhile,
Your helmet is on
thousands of miles
backwards.
away. I mean, not 1,000 miles. A couple of miles away. You
Thousands
are
of
storming
yards.
up one of the access corridors towards the centre of the ship. And from here, you know you have to go up to get to the ventral access way.
Okay.
So, yeah, following the plans that I've seen, I'm literally just going to be running through the way up.
Eventually,
Is there a lift?
Eventually, you do get to a cargo lift that has in big brass stencils above it eventual access way. Bonk. Beep. Waiting.
Do you reckon the music's like in?
It's going to be hymns, isn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, no, it's a Rogue Trader. It could be anything.
It could be something classical.
Queer.
So, there is, after about a good 5 minutes, their lift hits the floor and opens up, and you can storm into it. Again, there is a panel with some buttons on. Take a tech use test at -20. The buttons are quite small
To do what, sorry?
to try and get it to move.
Combat knife.
What, the
20
lift?
buttons.
Oh, has the lift just stopped midway?
No, it comes down to you and it opens. You get in, and now you have
You've got to select the right
you have
floor.
to select a floor.
No.
12.
No.
Oh, you did. No. Smash.
You are
Broken.
struggling to
Okay.
open the
Broken.
So, I'm assuming
We're
there's got to be
failing
like a
indoors,
hatch in
guys.
the
Yep,
roof.
the hatch in the roof.
I'm going through that.
You'll probably have to carve it a bit bigger.
I've got a power sword. I will make a hole.
Bang.
And you give a big
jump
leap, grab it, and pull yourself up. There looks like what seems to be a mile of lift shaft that you're going to have to start
floor do
Sure,
I
it'd be
doing.
handy if they had a jump pack.
The ventral access corridor is right at the
Right,
top.
I
of it.
am-
Okay, I'm going to start running up with my mag boots.
I am going to climb on top of the lift car, grab one of the cables, and shoot the anchor point,
That'll do it.
and go up. Holding onto the cable.
Technically, it won't. It will just stay still. The thing will just fall.
That's not how it works.
It depends if it's like an
Unless it is.
actual pulley lift or whether it's like
Who
one of those
knows how
ones with
lifts
the things
work in the
in
41st
the edges and it's just like
Let's
a
roll
mag.
some dice.
if
Let's
it's
see
a
if the
mag
Chaos
lift-
Gods favour
I would,
you.
one would
If it's a
assume
mag
it would be a
lift,
high.
that's not
67.
gonna work.
What's
It's
your
probably a
agility?
mag lift.
47.
It's a cargo lift. It's going to be mag or hydraulic.
Well, you failed, so we're going to go with it's
I like
not.
the idea.
No.
Oh,
If you had passed, I would have said yes.
So I'm just running up.
it's like, there is no
I
spoon.
doubt
Bang.
you could run. You'd probably do a swift walk.
Ah,
All right, I am moving as quickly as I can up.
Yep.
Unless I would be quicker climbing,
You might actually be quicker climbing.
I will do whichever is quickest.
Yeah. There are some like gurneys and stuff. It's quite easy to climb up there. So you start hoofing it.
Gurneys?
You know, like
ladders.
metal runs and things like that. Not ladders as such, but
Things you can
structural.
grip
Like for
onto.
window cleaning.
okay.
Yeah,
All right, I
structural
will just be
things
moving up
around.
as quickly as I can.
And you start hoofing it up the.
I will follow the hoofing rather than doing my epic flying.
hauling a las cannon on your
It's
back.
not a chandelier.
Why is there no chandelier?
Back in the hangar base, Jafar and Isidorus are running, I assume, trying to find another exit out of the ship. Roll perception checks. 23.
11.
Let me just finish my chocolate. Well, everyone's rolled quite well there. Ahead of you, one of the further
Makes you
down
change.
hangar bays that you can see, instead of the natural lumen lighting, you can see there's a faint blue glow coming from the right-hand side. As you get in there, you see that the hangar door is open and covered by some kind of force field that goes out into the void. This looks like maybe a ship docking area where the ships come through the void shields and land.
Are there any ships in here?
Not that you can see now.
I've got 2 degrees of success. I can see if there's any ships in here.
I think that was a no.
See, I just took that as a yes, but they're invisible.
You do see
Not that you can
at the
see.
side of the hangar bay doors, though, you can quite
Jafar,
clearly
what do
see
your
the shield
magic eyes
generator area. Roll tech use.
I mean, it could happen. It did not.
No.
You think give the shield generator a good whack, it might go off.
Roll techies, failed. Yeah, there you go.
It's worked so far!
We're both going for a swim. In space.
Well, you
Mag
probably
boots.
you-
Mag boots
I
are a
was about
thing.
to say you probably want to lock your mag boots.
Bye.
I think the jump pack needs air to work, though.
No?
Yeah. It's like an engine, right?
Yeah.
Depends on the exact technology.
It's fine. If he goes floating off, I'll like
Okay,
totally pull him back
go
in.
for a smash. 60. I mean, you hit it
He thumped it.
because it can't move. It's
can't
pretty
dodge.
easy to hit. So roll some damage.
Could I quickly borrow the book, John?
Yes.
The book. How's it going, Lim?
Boop. 11.
That's
11 damage.
Punch.
Punch. Nothing happens.
what are
Probably
you
have-
doing? It's that
Punch
one.
it harder.
You can have another go if you want.
Can I have another go first?
Yeah. Or you can use
Be like,
psychic.
don't press.
You can use psychic powers.
I'm now picturing a
I don't-
couple of monkeys just stood on top of it doing this.
I believe.
When you say you can use psychic powers, how exactly does that kind
So you
of...
have a list of psychic abilities,
I do,
and some of them may do some stuff that might help you.
but I don't have all of them.
No.
So some of them may... yes. Because force bolting this control
Well,
pad
that's
is
what I
totally
was
going
thinking.
to help.
I thought you could force bolt it.
That's not going to help. That's just going to, like, break it and get us sucked into the void.
I thought that's what you wanted to do.
Well,
I thought that was
yeah.
objective 1.
Okay, fine. We're doing that. That's what we're doing.
Okay, here we go.
Yep.
You
do
summon your
thing.
Eldritch Might.
And 51, which is not a pass.
What's your
45.
45? Bloody
I
hell.
punch it harder.
Or do you, though? Do
Do you want to ask Zinch for a favour?
Sure.
Okay.
What could go
No, I
wrong?
don't.
Let's ask Zinch for a favour, shall we?
Why not?
Using the flyer mechanic, you have an hour of flight.
It's not going to take us an hour.
But then you run out of fuel and
It's okay,
you can't
we've only
use
got
it to
2
double
hours.
your base movement.
And if we fail, then we're kind of screwed anyway, right?
Okie dokie.
With Chaos Marines, it's all or nothing anyway.
So, praying to Big Bird.
You are playing for a big bird.
Praise be to Big Bird.
So,
He of the glorious wingspan and many, many eyes.
What you need is a grapple. Get sucked out and just chuck it, fire it at the top of the hangar and then use the momentum.
so what's your psi
So
rating?
how does this work?
3.
Basically, we're going to push it instead of
Okay.
casting normally. So you rolled a what?
Well, I rolled a 51.
51. So you push it to may up to a +5 per psi rating.
Okay.
So plus 15.
Yep.
So that will cast it.
Yep.
So now we need to roll on some psychic phenomenon. So +5, +1 rating desired. So +5, so +8. So roll a D100,
Yep.
and then we're +8 to it.
What could go wrong? 99! Plus 8.
Do you want to use an infinite point to re-roll that?
Nope.
Then you will die.
What?
High numbers are bad.
Where's the fun?
So your choice at the moment is
And it's a double.
uh,
Does that help?
annihilation. You are immediately and irrevocably destroyed, burned to nothing by the screaming fires of the Immaterium.
Well, that didn't last long, did it?
You may not spend infinite points to recover from this death. It is irreversible.
Ooh.
So do you want to keep that or re-roll?
Well, I suppose I should probably re-roll.
You don't have to if you don't want.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't have a character, and then we'd have to faff, or I could just sit here and like laugh at you all, which is,
Well, re-roll then, Sam.
it's happening.
You're going to laugh at us anyway.
6.
6 is better, I think. 6 is better. So 6 plus 8 is
14.
14. The temperature plummets for an instant to think
Good,
only a
because
frost
we
comes
opened the gate.
anything within 3d10 metres, which is fair. For a second, it seems quite frosty.
And then
Before
the
this
gate
huge
opens.
bolt of Eldritch fire hits the shield generator, the one opposite you, not the one you're punching.
Important distinction.
But as you punch, that one explodes. So you, for a second, think you've done it. Before the entire sort of hangar bay vents out into the void.
Space!
Roll an agility test as things are hurling themselves at you, including massive craters filled with servitor parts.
Oh shit.
What did you roll?
53.
What did you roll?
I didn't.
What's your agility?
40.
50!
Did you pass then?
Nope.
Depends
Don't be
with the
daft.
difficulty of the roll, John.
The difficulty is pretty average.
Do I get a bonus?
Average is plus
0.
Do I get a
0
bonus for mag boots since I actually said I was using them, whereas he didn't?
That's true.
Nah. Okay, you get plus 30 then.
Whoop!
So did
That's
you
a
pass?
pass.
Okay, so you have not used the mag boots. So you've also failed your agility check.
Yep.
Bye, Liam.
See you later, boys.
Can
I
I
wanted to be outside and just faster.
Have you got telekinesis?
Yes.
Telekinetic
technically.
grip?
I don't know if it's good enough to actually, stop a...
It should be in your psychic powers. Telekinetic grip.
Stop a Isidorius
Oh,
flying
Sam,
out
you need
into...
to take
Casually
you need to
shooting
take some
off
corruption as
out
well
of
for
the... Wicked.
Zinch.
Going to Terra, see you later.
Bye.
Hey,
So-
you'll be at the bridge before any of us. Just
The wrong bridge, but he
Or
lands
he'll
on the
just be
front
somewhere
of
in the void.
The ship's going to have enough gravity, I
No,
won't
it's
go
fine.
that far.
He lands on the front of the Acromantula, just waving at the Spider Lord like, "Hi, you said go to the bridge."
You failed to specify the bridge.
which ship?
He's just like, "Last ship down."
So
You're
Sam,
fired.
you're
Ting ting ting
Literally.
ting ting ting.
going, 7 plus 5 is
12.
12 corruption points.
Oh wow,
Ouch.
points. No, that's good. They're like cookies.
Points being prizes.
That's 12
What's the? That's crossing a threshold.
cookies.
That's 22. She's on now.
Oh,
Corruption points are like cookies.
Yeah, there's corruption on here.
Well, I started with some
10.
Oh, did you start with 10?
Yeah.
at least.
Oh my. It's all going well at the moment, guys.
Oh yeah, Jafar's having a great time.
It's all going terribly, terribly
Pressing
well.
buttons.
I'm so
Saw a
glad I went
documentary
the way
about
I
that
did.
once.
It's okay as long as you don't turn into a snake. If you turn into a snake, you're doomed.
Doomed.
Mutation.
So you
Snake.
got to
Aww.
20. Cool.
I don't understand what order you've put these in.
Oh no, you are a traitor legionnaire, so you only generate at 10, 30, or 60.
Oh,
You're fine.
You're lucky.
What? When? Now?
You don't do it right now.
You don't do it right now.
Oh, okay, cool.
But
So
you
I
passed
only get
10.
10.
She's already had one for being 10. She got the mark of Zinch.
Yay!
Shouldn't that make her better at magic?
It
Yes.
should do.
Yes, it should.
Keyword being
Should.
Shouldn't you be able to open doors?
So, while Sam looks for her psychic power to help her save Liam's life, we'll go back to the service ramp. It opens onto the ventral accessway, which is filled with people, all running various places.
They're running towards you.
Well,
they
I
have
know which
problems.
direction the bridge is,
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna follow him.
running that way.
Okay. The sudden appearance of two heavily armed space marines who look a bit odd. Immediately, everyone runs as fast as they can away from you.
Don't worry, we're here to help.
Objection
Roll a
space
charge
marine.
roll.
Actually, no. I was gonna. No. Don't worry, Imperial citizens. We're here to
Drum
defend
roll.
you. I will say
100.
with my air of authority.
My charm jams.
I rolled a 21. I passed quite convincingly.
Did you beat his 100?
No, because
then-
for some reason the crazy man shouldn't have done.
So you say, "Don't worry, Imperial citizens. We're here to help." As Keith goes, "Bah!" and 3 of them fall over dead.
I'm gonna re-roll that.
With an infamy, yeah.
Yes.
Infamy. They've all got an infamy.
We've all
It's
got it in for Roger.
better. It's only 80.
You tried, buddy. You tried.
I mean, but you're more confusing than anything else. But they don't seem to be obeying either of you. They're just running for their lives, mainly because the ship's under attack. Their alarms are going off. There's a brow, brow, brow. The ship is trying to undock, but obviously
Wrong Imperial.
the other rings have destroyed the docking clamps.
Either way,
so-
I'm running as fast as I can.
I'm going with him as well.
cool.
Running just
I
as
have a
fast as we
sneaking
can.
suspicion.
As you start getting towards the bridge,
You might be heavier
the
than
crowd
my,
starts to thin out, and ahead of you, you see 2 heavily
the void,
armed
I'm
gun servitors, both toting what look like heavy bolters, are guarding the way.
The best kind of crowd.
Say hello to my
And
little
also,
friend.
Like, the forms of like air and stuff escaping atmosphere.
As you
into-
approach, you
Counter
hear
jets.
their robotic voices. Hostiles identified. Opening fire.
I open fire
I'm
first.
assuming we can
Roll initiative.
I open fire first.
I think it's going to be
10.
roll it, see how we do,
yeah,
and then you'll
14.
do. Because I'll roll and fail,
We got
And you
10
don't have
and a
the
5.
and then I'll
I'll
just
take the
wave at
10.
you.
I got a 10 and a 7.
beat you there.
I can chase you.
See you later.
Okay,
Damn
they
it, it's got a head
9
start.
and a 3, so I think you're going first.
Do you have
So-
a grappling hook?
Whoever's got the higher.
It's
So 5d10 plus 10.
Right, you've got to roll to hit first.
That's a good point.
That's a good, strong point right there.
I have a jump pack,
Aim and fire.
So
a frag
the
grenade,
size of these
a crack
servitors.
grenade,
Not gonna help.
Sorry?
Size.
They're about human size. They're not so
Okay.
a
special.
bolt pistol,
Right. Range.
Could help.
a bolter,
About 50 metres away.
Cool. So that's actually close
knife.
range. So
a chainsword.
uh,
It's not going to be much recoil and bolters.
Just
Just
roll.
roll.
You'll know.
What if you punch the bolt?
What do you get?
3 degrees of success.
Genius.
Yeah, they hit. They can't dodge. They don't have the dodge skill.
So
If only I didn't have 2 giant turbines
yeah.
strapped on my back.
so I need more dice. What is 5d10 plus 10? Yeah, that won't do.
You're shooting with a las cannon?
Yeah.
Oh, right. I thought you were shooting with a bolter. I thought this was whipping your bolter.
No.
Okay, the las cannon's out.
I was like, gun servitors. So I was like, okay, say hello to my little friend.
You quick draw a las cannon?
Yes, I have quick draw. Oh, hello.
Numbers.
Quick draw and work on a las cannon?
I don't think it says it doesn't.
So one of them's a 10.
Yeah.
I'm re-rolling that to the 3 degrees of success. Because that was pathetic. So 1, 4, 12,
I think you
18,
might have it.
28. Hang on. 38. Pen 10.
So pen 10
Pew.
goes through their armour.
Capital Q.
Wait, they're pretty tough.
I
What's
got
6 plus 8?
I got a
14.
And pen was
10.
10. So 14 take away 10 is
Four.
4. And what do you roll?
28.
28. 28.
Really? Well, 5d10 is, and you got 18 on the 5. Because it's plus 10, isn't it?
10, 9.
No, I
7,
just dropped them.
5.
No,
Oh.
those two came to 4.
Okay.
Oh.
That was an 8. That was a 10. So that was 18.
But if you got a 10, isn't that what if Chaos
Sorry,
Fury
no,
or whatever the hell
it's
it
not.
is?
It's
You
38.
rolled some.
Jealous
38.
hatred.
38.
38, not
38,
28.
take it.
Isn't Zealous Hatred a thing?
And also
It
Zealous
is,
Hatred.
but we've got to work out if he just kills it wrong, because there's no point critting something that's done.
What's its toughness?
That's not the spirit.
So,
Overkill.
38,
Yes.
All the time.
34, so yes, you do kill it in 1. As that las cannon round goes straight through the servitor, and it goes error, error.
Just
Kills over to the side. Rogero.
Are there any humans around?
Lots of humans.
I'm going to grab the nearest 2,
Okay.
Bash their heads together.
and I'm going to run at it with them in front of me.
Okay. So there is a lot of screaming as you charged forward. That servitor is
Not
going
the
to
noise they
open
make.
fire with its heavy bolter.
I mean, to be fair,
Operation Human Shield.
Well, it's got to hit first. Oh, he rolled a 19. Yeah, I mean,
Dodge.
yeah, dodge if you want.
I rolled a 5.
All right.
There's no heavy bolters on the outside.
I passed by 4 success,
That's
4
Taurus.
degrees.
It's got a rate of fire of
It's too small.
6.
They won't be picking
So
us up.
it depends how well it passed.
It passed by.
Unless they do.
Well, this skill is 30,
In
got
which
a
case,
19.
I mean, I've already died
Oh,
once.
it's not
right?
enough
so,
to-
no, that's
First
only
hit
2
with that
rounds, so
many
you've dodged.
I'm
all
about
round.
to.
I'm assuming it's probably thematically them, some of them impacting on my meat shield.
On your meat shields as they die. And now you're holding a skull and most of a
Spine.
torso. So you discard those.
Throw the skull!
Projectile
Throw the
weapons.
skull!
Well, Keith,
Coconut.
he's sort of in the way now. If you take a shot, you might hit him.
Might.
Risk it for a biscuit.
Odds and evens.
I take a shot.
I believe in you.
Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to target the door.
You can't see a door, as it were.
Oh.
A very,
Far, far away.
Oh, right.
What's the range of your las cannon?
300 metres.
I mean, go around, why not? 300 metres.
far.
Yeah, it's quite far. Let's see if it works.
No.
It hit something.
Well, it goes through some of the crew on its way.
I'm just clearing the way.
Yeah,
Tidying up
clear in the way.
by making a mess.
Okay, so
So I'll charge.
Yes, so Servitor gets charged by Roger. Hit it in its rhythm stick.
I will hit it. Right in its right leg.
It can't dodge. It's a Servitor.
8.
I just wanted
16,
to be there.
26 pen 8.
26 pen 8.
It's definitely hurt.
It is definitely hurt. You in fact take one leg completely off, and it kind of slumps to the ground, but it's still very much active. And it's as it lies there, it's going to try and shoot you with a heavy bolter. Pew, 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 pew. Rolled a 14.
Can it use
Dodge?
that in combat?
Are you still there?
Yeah, why not? Point blank shot.
I parry the heavy bolter.
You
'Cause I
can't
can do-
parry the bullets.
You parry missile weapons in combat. It's you swatting them aside. You parry the gun, not the bullet.
Yeah, it's a heavy weapon. You
So
can't
now
use
it's
it
got a
melee.
75% chance of breaking anyway.
Okay, go with the 75% chance of breaking.
I rolled in the middle, so yeah, it'll break whichever way.
So you chop off the front side of the heavy bolter as it brings it up to try and shoot you.
Ting, ting, ting.
We need those heavy bolts.
Meanwhile, back in the hangar bay,
Well, you say in.
did we figure out a way to save Liam
So,
from the void?
it kind of depends on if I roll well and you're feeling generous.
Cool.
So probably not.
No. I believe. Rip.
So Mind Over Matter suggests that okay. Gathering your emotions and mental strength and using powerful psychic energy to influence the motion of objects and defy the laws of physics.
I'm definitely an object.
But the problem that I can see that we might have,
You can lift an object weighing no more than. Oh, he's
Yeah.
weightless, isn't he? He's
so
in the
a
void.
psychic. Good. See, that's
That's the
what I was-
conclusion
yes.
we came to, yes.
He is
So a
technically
psycho
correct.
with this power may use this in one of 3 ways: constant motion, rapid push, or forceful throw. When using constant motion, which I
You
think
can
is
send him off into the void.
probably what we want to do.
Motion just that
to
way.
to the like side of something, so you're not just floating off into
A
space.
flat surface.
Yes, yeah, that.
So you get
Focus
blown
power
out
test
and you end
is
up
routine.
drifting round in a nice arc back to the bridge.
The psycho may move any object within range and line of sight which weighs no more than 10 kilograms.
Weightless.
He's
weightless.
Times psi rating.
Weightless.
Objects moved in this way can be moved only too slowly to be used to attack well.
Okay, so roll your psychic
Speedy
test.
thing goes
When
in.
released, the object drifts slowly
Speedy
to the
thing comes
ground.
So roll your psychic test.
Okay, well this is the fun bit. Because I'm still using Keith's dice.
I believe in you.
Because they're so pretty.
Yeah, plus 20.
Okay. I want you to know that I tried.
A momentum is something you give someone when they are leaving.
I mean,
What do you get?
59?
You get plus 20, remember?
It's a pass!
Yay! So
Maglocks.
she reaches out with the force, with the psychic powers.
I'm not Yoda.
And you just hear, but
No,
instead
don't.
of that, it's demons and they're screaming.
Oh my
And you feel yourself stop floating out and get slowly pulled back to the ship where you can lock your map boots on the outside. Good job. Sam,
Sorry, wait.
Jafar, around you, all the shutters have slammed down, locking you into this and sealing the hangar.
Awkward.
So there is now only one way to go, and it's outside.
Oh no, that's fine.
There
I'm
is
going
where
that
we were
way
going,
anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I just
You can
thought
see
you'd lock me in and he
the
was out there, and I'm just like, bye.
The Acumantula has passed the Peregrinius and turned around and is still firing. A
Judging.
lot of the servitor drones are just floating though in the void. They're not working anymore, but the turrets on the ship are still firing.
Cool.
Cool.
Let's take a walk.
Hop from drone to drone.
No, it's a terrible
No, we're not
plan.
Spider-Man.
So you taking a walk on the outside
Gentlemen,
of
take a
the
walk.
ship. The ship is huge. It's quite a massive vessel, so it's going to take a while.
Someone
to
thought this was a good idea. It's
get
fine.
that.
Can I do an
they
intelligence
start-
check to see if this is a good idea? Ah, it's too late.
It is pretty too late.
Yep.
You followed me.
Yeah, I did.
Clunk, 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 clunk.
We're not going to get shot at.
Roger and Keith. Roger, you dispatch the servitor on
I
the floor.
just keep running.
And
I literally don't
Yeah.
stop.
oh, right, cool.
Yeah, cool.
And you start to approach the main access to the bridge.
They're going to beat us now.
Now, this is not so much a door leading into the bridge, but a lift leading
Second-rate
down
heroes?
into the bridge.
Okay.
Because a lot of Imperial vessels don't have their bridges on obvious places. So it's not at the top of the ship, it's kind of down and
In the middle.
forward.
It's the battle
But it's
bridge.
alright, we know where it is. So.
Yes.
Yes.
However, guarding the lift looks like a company of these guardsmen. And they're all
Guardsmen or servitors?
guardsmen. They're all in line, and they're all, one row is kneeling, the other row is standing, and as you approach, you see an officer raise what looks like a power sword and shout, "Fire!" So,
This is a long corridor. Are there
A lot
doors?
of diddly.
there's doors to either side, yeah.
I'm going
Okay,
to
so
use
their
one.
officer is now Ned Flanders.
Right.
I'm going to use one of these
Well,
doors.
first of all, let's roll some initiative.
Oh, no.
Not
Why
quite.
isn't that your damage roll?
13.
Also 13.
Damn it. Well, hang on.
Lightning reflexes are big and clever.
They are. Just roll all the dice.
Lightning what?
Reflexes. So I'm going to dodge and I'm going to take a single shot at that guy whilst dodging sideways into a room.
You're going to John Woo it with a las cannon.
Yeah, sure.
John Woo it into the last
At this point, I've got a Legion bolt pistol. I could pull that out and jump sideways, slow-mo. into the-
Something cool.
Both your pistols into the air.
That's how it works. That's
Can
how it
legit
works.
do that.
Completely and utterly. Oh,
True
look.
gritty bolter.
I mean, you know the bit where they run up the wall and do the flip? We could do that, but clang, 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 clang with my
That's
fist.
A
cool.
lot slower.
It's fine, slow-mo's cool, right?
We can do that because there's no gravity where we are.
Cool guys, don't look at
I'm
explosions.
not unmaglocking these.
I'm never
I don't have a
ever
jetpack.
on mag.
You could grab him and just go.
Sorry, give me 2 seconds.
Probably going to be the quicker way of doing it.
So you get rerolls equal to your infamy first digit, right?
Yep.
I'm out.
I know.
However, I did stop me from dying and you from probably dying, so that I'm okay with this.
Good, okay.
I mean, he has the jump pack. He could have stopped himself from dying.
It's fine.
Do you know what would have been great here? A squad of 4 Astartes.
We took a shortcut.
Right, so,
Astartes.
what did we get on our initiative rolls?
13.
13.
Also, you don't know how current your neck
So
will be.
you still go first.
Nobody saw that.
How far away are they?
They're about, what? What's the range of a las gun?
About 100 metres.
No, Las gone 50 metres, isn't it?
Las gun is
About-
100 metres.
Okay.
So yeah, they're probably you're probably about 100 metres away from them when they open
Cool.
fire.
I'm going to target their commander with my
I
las
win.
cannon because
But
it's
it's
the weapon I currently
Christmas.
have out.
But it's chaos.
He counts as part of the horde, so there may
Also
be
cold.
some
I don't
jumping
have
in
a
front of
Zinch
him.
t-shirt.
Oh.
But
Look out, sir.
you can't pick out someone in a horde, I'm afraid.
Oh.
Why not?
Well,
So you could shoot into the horde.
You can shoot one guy
I'm going to
really
shoot
hard.
one guy really, really hard with my las cannon. What kind of...
98.
Shut up.
So you get plus 40 to hit.
You're going to need to... That'll be a miss. Always is.
No, with,
Always is
with
a
a
miss.
single shot, it's a hit.
No, it isn't. 96 to
96
100
is
is
always
always
a
a miss.
We'll roll that then.
So infamy point.
Oh,
What do you roll?
31.
So the degrees of success on this make no difference because it's a single shot.
It's pretty irrelevant. Whatever he hit with that is dead. That is one very, very dead
how much
guardsman.
damage did you do there? Because that will indicate how much of the horde you.
Oh,
Okay. This
Every
might
15 points of damage reduces their magnitude by 1.
Some.
well, I'm going to up that 2 to the... That was 40, that was 30. I'm going to up that 2 to the 6 degrees of success that it was.
And then the 7, the 9, the 8.
Las cannons do bad
The
things to
7,
squads
the
of
9 and the
guardsmen.
8 are quite tasty. So we've got 6, 7... I've made like a... if I re-roll that one, I could get straight.
Yep.
It's not poke.
Yahtzee! Wait.
Yeah,
that
no.
attitude, Liam.
So we've got 15, 21, 30, 33, 43, pen 10.
43 and 10.
I think that's another
I don't think they're getting their armour.
So you reduce it by
Pew.
2. 43.
Pew pew.
Oh.
You killed 2 guardsmen.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
not bad
Let's
with one
go.
shot.
hits one of them, like one of them kneeling, goes through his head and hits the other one through the stomach, and they both fall down. Pretty dead.
Yes, and then I'm going to use my other half action to step into a room.
You step into cover.
Full cover.
Rogero.
Okay, are there any doors in the corridor towards them?
I mean, there's doors all down this corridor because it is
Okay,
the central
I will
access way.
sprint forwards into one of the doors on the side, so I'm closer
Ding.
but not in the corridor.
Okay, you sprint forward and dive into cover.
I'm just going through the walls of these rooms. Just to...
Let's see what else we've got. Okay, so as you dive into cover, a hail of las guns bolts just fly down the corridor, hitting some of the less unfortunate crew members further down.
Sucks to be them.
And you hear the commander
Poor unfortunate.
Expendables.
tell them to hold.
Remember this shit at Christmas.
As in, so you are now stuck in doorways. What are we going to do?
I'm going to run to the next doorway.
So you're going to try and leg it.
Yeah, how far between doorways?
They're going to wait for you though. As soon as you poke your head round, they'll shoot you.
Ah, are you telling us they've set Overwatch conditions?
Well, yes. They're not. I mean, so you've got a choice. You can either risk it and leg it, or try and find another way around.
So the internal walls of this, what are they made of?
Yeah, it's
They're
Plastic.
they're deck bulkheads, so they're pretty tough. This is the ventral corridor.
Are they?
Above you is the void.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm going to lob a frag grenade round the corner.
Okay, so go.
do you have a frag grenade?
Ding, ding.
Yeah.
All right. Can you throw it 100 meters?
I am whatever my sprint range is closer.
Also, probably yes, Space Marine.
Well, I hit.
What's the range of a grenade?
3 times strength bonus.
You
What's
can
your strength
throw it.
bonus?
In my armour 10.
10, so 30 metres, so you're not...
Okay, then
Because they were 100 metres, you ran
I
24.
was going to say, because I can only throw it...
Don't forget you get +2 strength for your power
I
armour.
can only throw it 36 meters.
What?
What?
How? It's 3 times your strength bonus.
Your bonus is your first
And
digit.
so your strength, if assuming it's 4, you then
12.
just it's minus
natural
30
strength.
meters. Yeah, that's what we just discovered.
12, so that's 36 meters.
Yeah, but we've just discovered I can throw it 30.
Yes.
So
So I'm not quite sure why you're
Yes.
confused.
Because I was like, hang on, because I can... This is why I was questioning your
Okay.
decision.
Oh, right.
Yeah, no, right. So
He already sprinted down the corridor a bit.
So
And
he's
then
about
ducked in the
50
doorway,
metres.
so he's further
well,
down
he
than
sprinted
you are.
24, so he's about, 76 metres away from them at this point.
If I shoot it as he throws it, it'll give the extra kick.
Just explode.
So you can either risk run into the next doorway and get shot by the horde, or try and break through this door and go through somewhere else. Or you have 2 friends who are climbing on the ventral part of the ship.
you know what? Fuck it. I'm going.
He's running.
I've got hard target. They get minus 10 to hit me.
So
I
you're
think.
You run out and the
Minus 10.
horde shoots you.
If you're charging or running,
Yeah. I'm just trying to find where it is on
at
there.
least in Deathwatch.
I did not get that. I did not get hard target.
Do a barrel roll.
It's good to do a barrel roll. You do a barrel roll.
Okay.
They get minus 20 to hit me
Cool.
because I am running really fast.
Zoomy boy.
I'm going to switch to my standard bolter and provide him covering fire.
Cover and fire!
Actually, can we do suppressing? We can do suppressing fire.
You need a full auto weapon.
I need favoured by the warp.
So first
Yeah, I
one
do.
misses.
They've-
Mercury 24 can make 2, so hold my range equal to the first digit of its magnitude. So 50. So-
Magnitude 50.
well, it is 50 because we killed some. We killed 2, didn't we?
I thought it was 30. All right.
No, it's 60 minus 2 is
Okay, yeah.
58. So
Yeah, no,
that's
it's fine.
5 attacks.
I didn't realise they were. All right. Yeah.
So
There
first
are
one
many,
misses.
A number of them.
Many of them.
Second one misses. Third one hits on a 3. Fourth one minus 20 to hit you, isn't it?
Yes.
So misses. And 5th one misses. So 1 gets through. So there's a hail of las gun shots. Luckily, Roger knows his Imperial Guard tactics. Gaston knows. So as the first lot comes, he's bigger than the average guardsman, and the first rank is kneeling. So when they shoot, he leaps, diving over the front rank of bolts. And then as he rolls, he dives under the second rank of bolts. But as he rises, one clips him. A few click him actually, because it's the number of hits has damage it causes increased by the number of d10s equal to the horde's magnitude divided by 10. So 58 divided by 10 is
5.
With a maximum bonus of plus 2d10, so only plus 2d10. And then plus the standard guard issue weapons. So 2d10 is 15.
This might actually hurt.
Plus another d10. 15 plus 9 is 24, plus 3, 27, pen 0.
Pen 0.
Yeah. Easy.
So it hits you for what? Like?
27.
Pen 0.
So
Which is like
17. 9.
So 9. So a few lucky. The magnitude of shots eventually gets through and hits in the vital parts, so the neck seal and the arm seals. But you do roll into the cover of the other side of the.
No, I'm literally sprinting at them.
Oh, you're going to keep running?
I'm sticking my gun out there and firing at them.
Because
like
we need to go that way.
Yes.
Okay, so take some shots.
That's
shoot him.
it. No, I don't shoot him. That's only 1 hit.
Yeah, so roll some damage. They can't dodge you.
They're dead.
Well, no, how much damage do you need? Remember, you need 15 to take them down by 1 magnitude.
So roll damage for each one.
Yes, my 1 hit.
Oh. You must have rolled quite badly.
I did. My 1 hit of the 19 pen 4 explosive.
So 19 pen 4 takes them. You need 15 to take them down by
So
1.
it's just one.
So you just explode one of their heads.
Yeah.
Cool.
That guy gets it. In the face.
So Roger used his action to run 24. So 76 take away 24. There's a lot of maths.
52.
52. Roger, you're 52 metres away. Meanwhile, on the other half of the ship, you're getting there. It's a long tread up to this ventral corridor.
But at least we're not getting shot at.
But eventually you get to the top of the ship. Now, there is only the slightest sort of window through the upper part of the ship. You can just see the top of the corridor that you're trying to get into. You're probably going to have to find an access hatch or try and cut your way through the bulkhead, which would take hours. So there must be an access hatch around here.
Perception check.
So roll perception checks.
I like perception.
No.
Yes.
Back.
I saw a star.
Oh no, it's dorsal.
You saw a
pretty.
star.
Me too.
Ventrals.
I rolled 97.
Oh, you beat me.
Okay, if you
86.
keep following, you might come to an access hatch at some point. Clunk, clunk, clunk,
I saw space.
clunk,
Space
clunk,
is big.
clunk.
Space is very big. I think it's a long way down the road to the shops,
Indeed.
etc.
You get another Vox message coming from the rest of the rings.
What are you doing?
So 3rd, 8th and 5th ring have destroyed the gunnery decks on the Peregrinius. The fire from the Peregrinius cuts out, you two see. Well, you don't see because you're blind.
I'm looking at space.
But the
We were
fire
looking
cuts
at
out.
that. That's what we were looking at. We're like, oh, the fire
Video
had
lights.
stopped.
You get
Guns.
Yeah, you
They've
get a
stopped.
radio from Norma Keane, leader of 7th Ring, who states that they've just broken into one of the access corridors towards the ventral corridor. And that's when Marius Quinto pipes up going, "We have broken into the ventral corridor." You two start to hear bolter fire from quite a way off behind you.
Part of me just wants to hide in the corridors and wait for them to come up past me. Like, hi.
They're on your side, technically.
Hey!
Surprise!
So, back to the fight.
Oh, terribly
It
sorry.
is
They died. You're right,
Rogero
Keith.
and Keith.
So I'm going to sprint and use one of my infamy points to recover D5 plus 1 wound.
I'm going to fire at the horde because they're there.
So 6 wounds.
So
That's
Roger recovers 6
better.
wounds and sprints 24 again. So that goes down
2
to
hits this time.
40. Oh, Roger's getting there. You're 28 metres away from them, Rog.
That's one hit. That one's
You're in
dead.
great distance.
Second one
I know, I'm
is
just going to keep running.
15.
I just
Don't
can't
throw it
you can't,
behind
So
you can't
19
throw
pen
while you're
4 and
running.
16 pen 4. Two
Because
more.
I'm sprinting.
2 more dead,
flat out.
so they knock down to 50.
So you throw it and then run alongside it. I see.
They're going to shoot. Bang, bang, bang.
I'm fire protocol.
Pew, pew, pew. So, first one will hit Roger. Oh, on a 2, hits Roger. Second one misses. Third one misses. The other flurry bolts hits Keith on a 17.
In the door frame.
You mean Zerg?
And, a 69 again.
What location?
They don't roll locations because
It's
they're
the
just
chest.
bored.
Always the chest.
So, 1 hit on Roger, 1 hit
Door
on
frame.
Keith. So, 2d10. So, 14 plus
Hits me in the door frame.
2
Lounge
is
window.
16.
16 pen 0.
Hits
To
me
me,
in the door
10.
frame.
To both of you.
Nothing.
Nothing?
Hits me in the door frame.
Well, it doesn't matter. 6, that'll do nothing.
Yeah, it
even
does
if it hit
nothing.
you.
I didn't roll that very well on my damage.
Yes.
Oh no, your dice betrayed you. Well,
So, Roger, you're 28 metres away.
I'm just going to run into combat.
28 me. Throw a grenade.
No,
Oh,
no,
they're running?
I'm not going to stop running because then they'll hit me a lot more.
So, Roger
Oh,
charges
I charge.
into them.
I mean, yeah.
Throw a grenade and carry on running.
Keith, do you want to shoot them again?
Yeah, I'm shooting it.
You can't run and throw a grenade.
You can.
He's
It
had
won't
to
go very
peg
well.
it full
You
power.
can throw and then walk.
That's more like it. That's
Activate
that's
blend
all
mode.
3 hits.
Okay.
Spin to win.
Hit number 1 is enough.
Yeah.
Hit number 2
Attack.
is enough.
Spin to win.
Spin to win.
Hit number 3. Question: Zealous hatred.
007.
Yep, it does crit damage.
Yes, so a crit on a horde, doesn't that add an additional point of horde damage? In which case I should have done an additional 3 by now.
This hatred has no effect on hordes.
Very well.
That's right.
3.
3. Oh, they're nearly down another magnitude. They will shoot you though. They get the last shot. So first one, it's minus 20 to hit you, isn't it, Raj?
Yarp.
Misses. Misses. Keith.
Yarp.
Misses. Keith. Misses. Last one on Raj. Misses. Oh no.
Pew 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 pew
Oh,
pew.
oh no, oh no. Oh yeah.
Stormtroopers.
So,
Says Garston.
you smack into them, Roger.
I
You
start
get
hacking.
plus 40 to hit.
Can you not just hold the sword at their waist height and
I
just
hit.
do a pirouette?
32.
Probably could.
How
We
much
could get Sam to
damage?
make us a door. Get Keith to make us a door.
9.
Maybe we should calm them and say
27 pen 8.
27 pen 8. So
Isn't it in combat? Isn't it to do with degrees of success when hitting them?
let's have a look. Damaging a horde.
Yep.
A Space Marine inflicts 1
Suck
hit
all
for
them
every
out.
2 degrees of success with his weapons contest.
Okay, so 7.
Bag boots.
So 9 degrees
Ruin
of
the
success.
days of the
on
other
my
rings
first
as
hit,
well.
Because of the plus 40.
So 9 degrees.
Well, we didn't know they were
so
right
that's
there.
1 hit for every 2 degrees.
So 5 hits in total.
Yep, go for
So
damage.
5 dead. Well, 27 pen 8.
I mean, it just,
27, so that kills.
Does that kill an extra one from the damage?
What's
overspell?
27 times 5?
100 and some. No, yeah, 100. No, 100.
Oh, there's so much maths involved in roll.
132.
If
I've got a
we did
calculator.
that,
135.
and then presumably some sort of emergency
So,
blast doors
27 times
7
5
times.
the
divided
corridor.
by 15.
No, 34.
You killed
What a
9
shame.
of them.
It might stop us from
That
getting
was
any
one. That was
further.
attack 1.
So 9 of them die. Wait,
How
bear
did
with
you
me.
do that in attack 1?
Because he gets
because-
extra hits for hitting the horde
So-
because of their size, and
Okay.
he's
Wait
at
to the
plus
end, then get
40
trapped
to
in the
hit
door?
because of their.
So
Okay.
there's so many.
6 degrees of
Yeah,
success on my
everyone
second hit. So this will do 4. This will hit 4.
damn you and your
Wait,
logic.
wait. I'm still taking away 52. 9
why
from
I'm
52. 43.
So I hit 6 of them.
Yep. How much
No,
damage?
8 because I got 3 extras.
Smart.
How much
So
damage?
4. Well, yeah.
7.
I'm
7.
gonna have to roll for
Um,
it.
yeah, many lots.
7.
I'm good at hitting things.
7 more.
28.
28 times 7 divided by 15. Yep. That's a lot of dead Space Marines. So you
What?
now jump down. Sorry.
And a 10, so
Guardsman.
8
Death
degrees
to our
of
rifles.
success.
You 8 degrees. Yep.
Oh. 24 pen 8.
Ooh, one button. Right, there you go. You charge into them, and your first swing
I'm
takes,
literally
like,
just swinging.
5 of them off because they're in stun formation. They start to break and surround you, but there's swings going left and right, and you carve at least 5 with every swing you take. By the time you're finished, there's about 30 dead men around you, which is a significant number.
It is.
So yes, you're carving your way through.
One kills like Gaston, no one slashes.
Meanwhile, on the top of the ship, you finally find an access hatch slightly off the main ventral corridor.
They have knocked on the window.
Well,
Oh, have you?
are we going to do that?
Is there a doorbell?
Boom, boom. I was going to help them. With
It's
my
got one
last
of
hand.
these huge crank handles
Depends
you're going to
if
have
they're
to
near
turn
us.
to get into.
Sam has decided that logic dictates that we don't make a door right where we are.
Because that would be foolish.
It would be
And
funny,
probably initiate. Well, I suspect that if we did that, it would get us in, but it also would initiate probably emergency bulkhead doors to come down and block the corridor the whole way down, which would hinder the other rings from catching up to us, Quinto. But it might also stop us from getting up forward. So unless we continue the whole way and then do that right at the end when we're at the front, and then they'd still have all the other doors to go through, we should probably not do that. We could, of course, get in and then do that to those sides, but then that probably needs a tech use test, and well...
I had this weird psychic whisper in my head that says I should shoot the window. So I get my las cannon and I shoot the window.
I mean,
Access hatch!
I don't
Found
think
an
there is a
access
window
hatch.
here.
you could do that.
There's
Then
a
I'll
giant
make
window
one.
the whole way across.
Access hatch. I can't open it.
Get him to grab it and put his engine on. Jetpack on.
17.
Yay! Thank you. Manual labour. Off you go.
Mutter something about the Iron Warriors always being used for the grunt tasks.
So you going to open the access hatch, yeah?
Yeah.
It's one of these big kind of twisty handles that you see in old movies,
He just holds it and fires up his jetpack and goes around really quick.
and it opens. There's a vacuum seal inside, so you can go down, close it, and then turn the air back on.
Is there enough room in there for 2 Space Marines?
Yes,
Fantastic.
it's quite a sizable
Right.
room.
We'll do that.
So you both
Yep.
maglock down, close the hatch.
Yep.
The sequence starts up and the cabin pressurizes, and then the doors open into a horde of Imperial Guardsmen being attacked by a very angry Space Marine. So, Roger, you've just killed the last one when the side door opens and these two spill out. Permafrost all over their armour.
We took the shortcut.
And just 50 dead guardsmen around my feet.
Yes, there's
You
still
get a
22
nod
left.
of approval.
So,
I shoot the window.
cool.
Maglock?
Well, no, you don't have time.
we don't know this is happening.
Keith, roll some dice.
Are you going to warn us?
I've been told in my head to do it.
Who did? What?
You.
No.
No?
Wasn't me. If you're hearing voices, it was not me. Feel free to go for it.
I'd
but it was
radio them
not-
and say, I'll say, I don't know,
You have 4 words.
Are we
Maglock.
still in combat?
making a hole.
Yeah, there's 22 men still left.
Oh, okay.
Maglock.
Clink, clink.
I mean, I haven't disengaged my.
I mean, what do you want me to hit?
Roof,
I can
so-
hit it.
Have you hit it?
I've hit it.
What'd
I
you
mean,
roll?
is that going to
22.
do enough damage?
Okay,
I mean,
roll
if
some
it's-
damage.
If that's the outside
pretty,
of the
pretty
ship.
heavy glass, so you got to pretty nail it.
Are you using your las cannon?
I am.
Oh, right, it's probably going to go through.
Yeah, that was my
Yeah, but I was
concern.
more
I mean,
thinking
that's-
if it's external.
Bolt
concern.
pistol.
Ships generally don't immediately get a hole from getting shot once.
Unless it's a las cannon.
Depends how much damage it
Ship
does.
guns are a lot bigger than las cannons.
32.
See, macro lasers.
42 pen
Both
10.
guns.
42 pen 10.
Nova cannons. That'd probably do it.
Do you have a Nova cannon?
Do you have a Nova cannon?
No.
Don't give him ideas.
He couldn't.
At this close range with a las cannon, it probably punch a small hole through it. So there is a huge bang as it hits, and there's some venting of air. It's not enough to kind of drag everyone out through a hole like Alien
But one of
3.
the Imperial Guardsmen.
Oh,
does
it'll
go.
probably be one of them.
Yeah, why not? One of them just flies up, sticks. It's the officer with the power sword,
Yes!
and slowly gets crunched up into it.
Run!
But at the other end of the corridor, you start hearing alarms and these huge bulkheads come down, sectioning the door.
Yeah.
The other guardsmen are legging it, and the lift to the bridge is right in front of you. As these things are chunking down. Chunk.
Run to the lift.
Roll agility checks.
Oh man!
Oh, I
Dice
passed.
check.
I think you killed some younglings.
Was that 66?
Any bonuses?
No.
Oh, I failed by 1 degree.
Because you were running mag boots, you see.
Well, if it wasn't powerful enough to...
It's pretty easy. You get a plus 30.
Okay, then I've passed by 2 degrees.
Did you fail, Sam?
Passed by a degree.
Did you fail by a lot?
No.
How much did you fail by?
Well, I rolled a 73.
Yeah.
And my agility is 36.
So
So 66 to 73
Less than a
is
degree.
not a whole degree.
Can we, rugby tackle? Can I just tackle her into the lift? Tackle him, Jafar.
Grab a robe.
Needle lift.
I get back, but it's like I'm standing there and I'm telling you guys to run and the two of you just go poof, poof.
Given I'm so confidently striding, can I?
Well, yes, you can all bundle them into
I
the lift.
confidently passed.
The Vox only lights up with several angry calls from 7th, 2nd and 4th ring as they're now locked into the venture exitsway. You hear Ara's voice come through going, "What's happening, 1st ring?"
Hull breach.
Fine what? Slight weapons malfunction.
We're all fine here now. How are you?
Boring conversation. Anyway.
So, you start going down into the bowels of the ship to the main bridge. Cool. So, the doors open onto the main bridge. There is a massive activity of crew members running around all sorts of places. There's several armsmen as well. And on the central throne...
Frag grenade.
Well, yeah.
No, we want the bridge intact.
So,
Fine. Haywire grenade.
so on the central throne, in what can only be described as a gaudy outfit, stands the Rogue Trader. He has a coat of several different colours.
Is his name Joseph?
Immaculate pantaloons with white and blue stripes down it.
His name's Joseph.
Into large black boots.
Gallatini.
A huge hat that flops on one side with
How
a
big's
huge
the feather?
ostrich feather. Massive, about a metre long.
He's definitely in charge.
He should have worn the brown pantaloons.
I'm going to get my
He
hair...
has black jet black hair with a huge moustache. He looks a very strange,
D'Artagnan.
odd-looking firearm in one hand and a power sword in the other hand.
I throw my hairwire grenade at him as hard as I can.
And he's surrounded by what looks like 5 armsmen, all holding what look like melter guns.
Oh!
Those are going to hurt.
So, roll initiative. The bridge is also full of mortals and servitors as well.
I got
Lightning reflexes. 2, pick the highest. 13.
So,
14, I rolled a 10 again.
Very nice.
12 is nice.
I did not.
9 plus 3 is 12.
Lower than that. Significantly lower than that.
13.
On 2d6 or 2d10.
She doesn't have lightning reflexes.
What?
Or
Do you have lightning reflexes?
No.
awkward.
That's what you should have spent some of that
And
XP you didn't spend
Rogue
on.
Trader?
You know, that 500 XP you had to spend on stuff.
The Rogue Trader.
Now might be a good time to retcon that and buy
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Okie dokie. So,
Fine, I'll let you
who
more on the
got
running
what?
first, and then I'll
14.
tidy up.
14, 13.
30.
7?
Here. Rogero, you
How
are
far
first.
away are the people with melter guns?
They're down the staircase. So, via the stairs, about 50 metres. As the crow flies, about
50?
30. 50, yeah.
And
Oh,
how,
what, to go round?
and
No, to go down the
how
stairs.
long a range would, from my extensive knowledge of weapons, be a melter gun?
A melter gun.
About 6 feet.
Do you roll common law war? Yeah.
Probably. I'm a space marine. Yes. 38, just.
20.
20
Melter gun.
metres.
I see. I'm going to shoot them
Clever.
on semi-auto
Bang, bang, bang.
on a 6.
Yep.
Wow.
They're going to dodge the first one. Agility 45. I rolled a 29, so he dodges.
So he dodges 2 rounds?
Yes.
18 pen 4.
18 pen 4, so 18 take away 1 is 17. 17 take away 4 is
13.
13. He takes 13 wounds. So, bang! The bolt flies down. It clips this guy on the shoulder and explodes, taking away most of his upper arm. And he screams in pain. And he's trying to heft the metal gun in one hand at the moment. Yes, next is either Liam or Zerg. Zerg or...
Hades.
Yeah.
What's your agility?
What's your
40.
agility?
47.
Ah.
I lob a haywire grenade at the Rogue Trader.
Okie dokie. Your range is 36.
36 metres. So you said that's a close
Yeah,
fight.
the
So
crow
he's,
flies.
he's in range.
So you heft a haywire grenade.
I do.
See what it does to...
Remember, yeet for power, Kobe for accuracy.
What? What? Minus 10 points.
The power of chaos compels you!
I don't know what just happened.
I don't know. Either.
None of us do.
I don't understand that reference.
Just trying to find...
I barely understand that reference. I'm not down with the kids. There's kid lingo.
Right.
I'm down with the sickness. References.
It's good.
I understood that reference.
I hit the Rogue Trader with the haywire grenade.
Dunk. Ow!
Now, if I remember,
Impact damage. Impact damage.
Yes, if I remember correctly, these things weigh 2 kilos.
Improvise
Normal
weapon.
frags only weigh half a kilo, but the haywire grenades are bigger because of the haywire effect. I've thrown a lot of grenades as a Space Marine.
Should sound electrical systems within its...
Yes. I'll roll for the haywire effect in a minute, but I need to know
How much damage the haywire grenade does when it hits the Rogue Trader in the head.
But, yeah, just a...
Unnatural strength.
Yeah, unnatural strength. So roll a dice and plus your strength bonus.
God, they're
One
almost just
D5.
a bolt gun. Oh,
Yeah.
D5.
D5. Okay,
Yeah.
4. 16.
16 pen nothing.
Dunk.
See if it does anything to it.
Crush his head in.
Oh, it's a hit in
Oh, he's
the.
wearing
It's
a
a hit
hat.
in the body. It is a body
Aw.
hit.
Oh, okay.
So
Crush a couple of ribs.
16 take away 9 is
7.
7. He takes 7 wounds.
Broke
The
a rib.
Rogue Trader. Bonk. Ow!
And now the haywire grenade goes off.
And all the bridge equipment around just fizzles out into nothing. And there's a huge amount of static that flows up loads of sparks and steam.
And the prolonged effect.
What kind of AoE
prolonged
distance
effect.
does that have?
Haywire effect.
Range-wise?
One person grenade shuts down electrical systems.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all it does.
What range is that on it? For the
What's his
AoE?
blast jump?
What do you expect it to
I
do,
think
Keith?
I think the blast of a haywire grenade is either 3 or 5.
3.
Blast
So-
is 3.
yeah,
So
so
it's in a
everything-
3-meter radius.
Yeah.
So 6-meter wide sphere. Everything is shut down. But there's a prolonged effect table. There should be a haywire table.
Not on this one, I'm afraid. It's on page 151, so miles away from the actual
Make a note of
haywire.
that, just in case we
Haywire
need it later.
grenade. So roll a d10.
10.
Prolonged dead zone. As a dead zone. What? As dead zone. Oh. Technology with the infected area is completely ceases to function. Power armor becomes unpowered. Characters
That
with
was my
cybernetic
concern.
enhancements suffer 1 level of fatigue. Melee weapons with technological components function as privileged weapons. So the power sword turns off. That's the main thing.
Melter
Turn
guns?
off the melter guns as well.
It doesn't say any. It just says melee weapons.
Technology. Technology within the area completely ceases to function.
Yeah. So
A
melter.
melter gun's not a solid projectile weapon would
Oh
work.
right. Okay,
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
An energy
and
weapon.
bolt weapons would work, but yeah, power weapons,
well, a bolt's
las
solid
weapons.
projectile, but it's
Yeah.
Oh right. Okay. So the melter guns turn off as well
for 2 rounds.
for 2 rounds.
That's plenty enough time.
So next is
He lied.
you.
Kaplar?
throw myself in with a jetpack.
Oh God! Into the dead zone.
Oh yeah.
Power arm turns off. Instantly.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, he's keen.
I mean, you could fly at them
If
and
you
then.
get your trajectory right, you might just land on them, and
I believe in you.
You'll be reduced to 1. That's
Or I could shoot them.
No!
What are you doing?
Do the first thing.
Oh no, shoot.
Shoot them. I think
Okay.
shooting them's probably
Which one are you going to shoot?
less funny.
Oh.
the one that isn't lying on the floor going, oh god, my arm.
Okay, shoot them
It'd be great because he cut out
semi?
just before he gets to them,
Oh,
and then he just
no,
crushed them.
only.
Yeah, bolt pistols have semi.
Sorry. That was
What's the impact damage of a space
Semi
marine?
2.
depends who it is. Me,
Probably
less.
death. Nope.
No.
Frag,
missed.
Yeah.
Oh.
frag grenade would be good right now.
I said frag grenade, and everybody was like, "No, we don't want to hurt the breeze."
So the
I think it's a bit
guardsman
like that.
whose turn it is
Grenades
it
gone off.
dives into cover behind one of the banks of cogitators. It is then the other guardsman who dives into cover. The other guardsman dives into cover. Now it's Jafar, who uses psychic powers.
Jafar, he's a man. If he can't do it, great do it.
It is your turn.
Grenade.
You have
Frag
the
grenade.
wounded one, a guardsman, and the rogue trader all stood in the open.
Apparently, I might have a grenade.
Do you?
I don't know.
We didn't get that far.
What's basic requisition?
They don't come as standard, so
Maybe I
you have
don't.
to buy them.
Maybe I don't.
We didn't get that far.
Mine bullets.
No grenades.
It says no.
Fine, fourth thought then.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to hear.
Your psyche just goes pop and vanishes from existence.
Yeah, that already happened once. I mean, it didn't.
If you
Did
get
not
a
happen.
99, you will just vanish permanently.
I'm out of points now.
Just a pair of...
Oh my
Your
God.
armor will all be
Just letting
disappeared.
you know.
You don't
apart
have to
from
push it.
your
You can
boots.
just use your normal.
Well, I'm not
unfluffy.
really sure because we're using a fake character sheet because we didn't bring one. But
Sorry.
yeah, it's
Shush!
fine.
Don't tell the viewers that. You didn't hear that, viewers.
Shh.
Right, go. Rolls 2 dice.
I'm doing a thing. I have rolled.
That's a good-
32
that's-
is a pass.
good number.
Yay.
Like by at least a whole degree as well.
Oh my
Ooh.
God.
What is this?
Look at you being fancy.
Would you
What
like
is
to
this?
ask Zinch for a boost?
No.
I mean, it went really well last time, right?
It did.
In that it
Do the thing.
almost killed you.
Do the thing.
We're going to ask Zinch for a little
What
boost.
are we doing?
You don't
You're
need
firing
to.
a
You
sight.
I don't
Oh.
need to. I just shot them. It's fine.
Okay, so it deals 1d10 plus 2 impact damage.
It does.
Plus 2 points per psi rating. So your psi rating is
3.
3.
So 6
So-
11.
plus 2
Yeah.
plus 5.
11 pen 0.
13. 13 pen 0.
13 pen 0.
Pew.
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 It wasn't the best, to
I'm
be
the guy in
honest.
the silly hat. Well, duh. Why do you suppose I said yes?
Do you want to? No,
Yes.
I'll let you preemptively ask Zinch for help.
That's the opposite of what you just meant. But okay.
Okay, so your psi rating goes up plus 3 per psi rating.
So 3. What?
May add plus 3 to psi rating.
So
Okay.
that does 6 more damage. So that does 19 damage.
That does 19 damage.
And then I explode.
Good job.
Perils of the warp table.
You ready? It's gonna be like
We're running with the
97.
perils of
So
the war.
19, take away.
I explode the Rogue Trader. And
Oh no,
then
the Rogue
I
Trader is
explode
not
too.
dead, but he is shot across the dais at the floor as this huge bolt of blue energy hits.
After being winded by a grenade.
Yeah, so a
So
grenade hits him,
grenade hits him.
explodes, everyone kind of goes, what the bang! And he flies backwards. His ostrich feathers kind of singes a little bit on top of his head. And that's when the greater demon is summoned. No. Let's just...
Well, we just
on.
exit
Let's
the
see.
bridge and close
Go
the
on then,
door.
roll a D100.
80.
Plus the... What was it? Plus 8?
80.
What's plus?
Don't you add stuff for Zinch's favour?
Yes, plus...
I don't have that bit written down.
2 seconds.
John just wants to like roll on the tables, so I'm gonna let
I
him
think
roll
a
on
demon
tables.
might be about
It's
to be
fine.
summoned.
In which case, we exit the bridge.
No, it's
close
only
the door.
80. It needs to be like 90 something, so you need to. Oh.
And we'll just radio back say,
Just plus
we've, secured,
Completely leave the bridge.
So 90.
we've secured the bridge. It's currently inhabited by a demon.
It's fine, we're bros.
That's totally how this will work.
Yep.
Reality quake.
Whoop!
What?
That sounds.
awesome.
This sounds
We
hilarious.
were one away from a grand possession,
Oh.
which was a greater demon.
I think that kills you, but you get a greater demon.
Yeah.
Well, you know, my goal
No,
was...
you can survive the possession.
My
of the
goal
great
was
demon.
Ascension anyway, right?
that would've been
So...
So, reality buckles around the psycho, and an area rating out 3d10.
Yep. 3d10.
Yeah. So, the room suddenly lights up. Every
Do I
mortal
add them
dies
together?
apart
Yes.
from
Apart from player characters.
14.
how many? 14 meters.
A 10 and 2 2s.
That's
Oh, so every mortal within 14 dies apart from player characters, who take 2d10 rending damage, ignoring armor, and are unable to dodge.
Well,
ow.
'Tis but a scratch. Oh, 2d10.
2d10.
Ignoring armor.
do I need to
ignoring
roll
armor.
that?
Yes,
Do
but
I need
sorry.
to roll that? Who rolls that?
These
you do.
guys. Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, Sam, you roll it. That'll be funnier.
Well, I mean, I've been rolling badly.
Go on.
I've got 20 wounds.
'Tis but a scratch.
We do ignore.
That could have
We
been
do
worse.
take toughness.
Oh, yeah,
Hey.
toughness.
8.
Oh, ting.
Could
So,
have been worse.
fine.
Yeah, 8 as well, so.
Cogitators start to
Yeah,
decay.
a natural
Servitors sprout into multicoloured feathers. One of the humans bursts into 1,000 butterflies that all immediately die.
Oh,
Cool.
it's a beautiful butterfly.
Yeah, the ramp below your feet suddenly sprouts into mushrooms. The wall behind you melts completely, and you can now see a perfect hole from here to the
We wave at second ring.
here to the access lift. The walls start to stream blood. Faces start to reach down from the
Reminds me
ceiling.
of home.
It's pretty horrific.
I'm jaded, no effect.
Yeah,
Oh, this again.
it was horrendous. I loved it. Okay, so luckily it wasn't that far. But a lot of people have just died. So
Helping.
good. Zinch likes that. So Zinch,
Oh, corruption points.
you do take some horrendous corruption from Zinch.
I'm going to level my las cannon at the Rogue Trader and say, surrender.
How
Let
many
me just see
corruption
what-
points?
Surrender and die.
Let me see
Probably too busy going
what Zinch does.
after being hurled across a room.
Hey guys, I did a thing! And it worked!
8 corruption
Yes.
points.
You can't say it didn't have an effect.
8.
It definitely had an effect.
Plus 8. So I've picked up like 20 in this session.
Because you
prizes.
keep poking Zinch.
Hey, you said did I want to?
Okay.
I said well duh.
So after Sam, it is one guardsman who jumps into cover, and the Rogue Trader who rolls into cover from the floor. So they're all now in
So they
cover.
have to take fear test for just what happened.
They, yeah, probably should.
Well,
And
the Rogue
also-
Trader didn't see it because he was on his face, but the human passed.
Okay.
That's the point. Have they got to take fair tests because we're there?
No, they're pretty hardened veterans, these guys. So
They knew we were coming.
they're his like the elite bodyguard, hence the metal guns.
dread.
It is now
We are
Roger's
not
turn.
subtle.
I'm gonna leap down into cover.
The dead zone.
No, because the dead zone's kind of over there.
So you're leaping
This is
down.
great because we've got like a dead zone and then like a chaos
zone.
zone.
So,
and then, like,
is there one of the guards that I could land next to?
Green Hill
Go-
Zone?
No,
No,
they're
you've
30
you've got-
meters
and
down.
over here
behind
you've got the, like,
Cogitators.
the-
All right, well, I will leap
Industrial.
down. I will
Yes.
leap down behind the Cogitators.
So you've got to go to each and collect the
So
crystal.
you jump down, what, next to them or a few stories up?
Well,
or
I can't jump 30 meters, so on the same level.
how far can you jump?
Well, I'm assuming down doesn't really count here.
Okay, so you jump
Jumping at
12 meters down. Whee!
It's my line.
Land on a human, break his spine.
And then jump into cover.
yeah.
You jump into cover.
yeah.
Cool. Next is
Me.
That guy.
Right.
Zerg.
Zerg. Yes, that's me. Where's the Rogue Trader?
He's rolled behind some computer bags. You can't really see where he's gone.
Cool.
Frag grenade.
I don't have. I've only got a hero grenade.
Not anymore.
I'm going to, in my boomingest, most intimidating voice, level my las cannon at where I think he was and say, "Surrender, or we will destroy you all."
Nice.
Frag grenade.
Said
Surrender! Okay, so throw.
Do I need to? Hang on. Do I need to roll some sort of intimidate?
Intimidation, yeah.
What am I rolling against?
You won't know what's happened.
Ballistic skill plus 10 if you're aiming.
I mean, 94.
Hi.
Pass.
Yep, so it lands in the middle of all of them and explodes.
He probably just doesn't hear you over that.
Yeah, the frag grenade does.
Oh, the frag grenade hits me. The frag grenade surrenders.
Frag grenade surrenders.
No, he passed. If it had failed, then it might have fizzled, and then it's like, yep, you intimidated the grenade. Congratulations.
Whoops.
Congratulations, you intimidated a grenade.
I mean, anything can happen.
That is
The first
also
thing
true.
Depends how long the grenade's been in the warp, I suppose.
So,
Shelf life, good for...
2d10 plus 2. Blast and devastating.
What does devastating do?
Let's have a look.
That sounds awesome.
9, 10, 11.
11 including the plus 2.
But you can, so how much did you pass by?
Devastating
You rolled a
is
20
horde
something, didn't
damage.
you?
It does
Three.
Oh, is
You
it?
can
Yeah.
turn that into
Extra
a
damage
3.
to all.
extra damage to hordes.
So it becomes 15.
15.
It's not a horde,
15.
there's just a few people.
No, but he's asking what devastation.
Oh,
does.
okay.
So
Oh,
if
if it's
it
about
was-
hordes, ignore it.
So 15. So the guy on the floor dies. The rogue trader gets splattered because they are in cover now, apart from the 3 who's got their backs to the grenade. So 15. So he's on. Yeah, that hurt quite a lot of them.
Good job.
Good
That's why they invented frag grenades.
You hear the guy on the floor who was lying there with his arm shot off. The grenade, in fact, lands on him as it hits. So he gets obliterated. And then all the other guards take shrapnel to the legs
There'll be that moment
and
of
the backs.
oh.
After Liam, it is the guard. So one of them's going to pop up and take a shot at Rogero.
Not with a melter gun, he isn't, or any gun that requires technology.
Are we still?
Walter?
Yeah, because
let's-
although
yeah,
they're
there's
not
2
in the
rounds.
thing, they're still affected
it's
even if they've left.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because they got
Yes.
shut down.
'Cause
so
they
they
got-
need
their
to, like,
weapons have shut
reboot it
down,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Oh right, okay.
So
They
this
will
is the...
essentially have to unjam it once they've left the dead
Is this
zone.
the first round or the second round since you threw?
Second round.
This
'cause they all
is the
dived into
second
cover.
round.
this is their
Okay,
first
so
round.
they will all hold their action until someone reveals themselves that they can shoot.
Not that they can fire.
I'm
this turn.
standing there.
This is the
Pointing
end
a
of the
gun
turn,
at
though,
them.
isn't it? So
This is only their first activation. They've still got one more.
no. Their first activation was they rolled into
Oh
cover.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. This is when it's your go again.
They'll shoot you if you
They
stand.
can't. They have to unjam their guns,
Yeah.
which will be their action.
Yeah, their guns unjam on the second activation. After the second activation, so they rolled into cover 1. They're holding 2.
The dead zone decays. So at the moment, it's prolonged dead zone for 2 rounds, and then it'll decay into. It decays up the table until it vanishes.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Haywire.
Me neither.
Oh, that was your last haywire.
1, 3,
Cool,
1.
I think I should make some more
151.
butterflies.
There, is that
See
that's
if
one?
it's so beautiful.
Just melt that guy over there.
Oh,
Jam.
yeah, it does. Haywire.
That computer terminal needs some more feathers, obviously.
Unless
That one
they've
should be on
changed
fire.
it.
Can make it on fire.
That's the spirit.
It used to be that it decays up the table until it becomes.
Alright, so it's now on dead zone.
Yeah.
Okay. So you still can't enter it with power armor. This is entertaining.
Well, we've got bolt guns and they don't, so...
Okay. Right, so they're going to hold their actions. It is now Sam's turn. Bolt of...
Please don't kill us all with your brain.
But it's fun.
So, can I actually see any targets right now? Or are they all
No,
dead?
they're all pretty hunkered down.
Okay, so our
So they're
main
not on Overwatch.
objective...
Sam, what psychic power do you want to use?
Well, I'm just going to do Frostbolt again, because that seems to be working.
You can't see anyone though.
Well, I'll move round so I can see someone.
Mind the lights.
Oh, right, okay. So you'll have to move around as an action and then do it next turn.
Okay, I'll do that.
So you run around to try and force spot someone else. It's them. They're all going to hold. Back to the top is Rogero.
Right, so they're not on Overwatch because they're not poking their guns out at us.
No, they are hunkering down.
Okay, I will charge one of them.
You'll enter the dead zone and your armor will die.
Okay, is there a way round the dead zone?
No, it's a spherical area.
It's a spherical area based on...
You
right
cannot
up
But I
the
don't
middle.
know how large the bridge is.
Yeah, you can run round it, but you'll have to do the same as Sam.
I will run round it into cover.
Okay, so you run round. Next is you.
I'm currently standing there on the edge of the balcony, looking down into the bridge, going, where is everyone? So I'm using my bolter. I'm going to set up Overwatch.
Okay, cool.
Open firing conditions are
When
Someone
one of them
reveals
sticks
when,
their heads up.
when one of them exposes themselves in a manner that is not immediately surrendering,
Yeah. I'm
I
gonna
will shoot them.
Cool. Jumping into that, so...
Let's not jump into the dead zone.
More grenades!
Highway
The only grenade I've got
to
left is a
the
crack
dead
grenade.
zone. Oh god!
And
Wow.
as fun as that would be,
I mean, you could kill them through the console.
Yeah.
So our objective here is to take the bridge, right?
Capture the bridge, yeah.
Yes.
We've got it. All the bits of it are here.
so I'm going to move round a bit, half action or so of moving, and then use the other half action to overwatch with my bolt pistol.
So we got a lot of overwatching.
And if anybody moves, then I'll shoot them.
Okay. One of them...
It's-
One of them's going to pop his head out to have a look around and
I
get
know
shot by Zerg.
okay, now
Because he hears Roger's bootsteps go chunk, chunk, chunk. So he pops his head up and takes a bolt gun to the head.
right.
He is in cover though, so it's harder to hit him.
It is, but
Minus
because
20.
I've got Overwatch, I get. Is it
I
plus?
think it's actually a minus.
What on Overwatch?
Let's have
It's harder to hit on
actions
Overwatch.
down here. Combat actions. Hard. Shooting a target and shooting a puny target.
Puny
I think,
target.
I think they just get bonuses to their armour rather than...
Well, I thought Overwatch gave you a plus 10 or plus 20
Didn't
for
think so.
hitting the target when you open fire.
Go. What do you get?
11.
11. So bang. So you hit him.
Oh man, he dead.
He did.
19
roll?
pen 4.
Ooh, 19 pen 4.
It's a zealous hatred.
That's the crit. Let's just see if you kill him first. You gotta kill him and then crit.
But no, if he doesn't die, he'll take a crit.
19 pen 4. So 19 take away 6 is
13.
13. He is not dead.
So let's see what the crit is.
So roll on the crit. Explosive crit table is page 250.
D10 or D5?
D5.
That's a 2.
So 1. He has 1 level of fatigue.
Oh no!
Gives him minus 10 to everything.
It does. Oh no, he's a bit tired.
Your shot though?
He's
Because
gonna
you
be
were
more
rotted as
tired
well.
than that.
Hang on. Wait. This is 3 bullets.
Is it?
It is. It's my bolter.
Oh, right, you're firing in 7 then.
So the second shot
I think it's going to kill him.
also hits him.
Well, you roll 1 to hit roll.
Oh, is it?
And then for every 2 degrees of success, you
Okay.
get an extra hit.
So what, are you just re-rolling another lot of damage?
Oh, so I'll do damage then. So the damage of the second hit is. We know what we're doing. Yes, we do. 16 pen 4.
Okay, that will kill him. So his head the first shot knocks his helmet off, the second explodes his head.
Oh, you lucky bastard!
Yeah, exactly. The rest, after seeing their mate die, will not poke their heads up.
And then the third shot just lands in the bridge somewhere. and makes
It
a
is now Jafar.
Stop blowing holes in my
Jafar.
ship.
You can clearly see
Only supposed to
1, 2, 3 guardsmen and the Rogue Trader all hunkered down
Excellent. Just go for the Rogue Trader again.
with a
We don't need him alive, right?
bolt of boltiness.
Sorry, we weren't told to take our life.
Go for it. Go for a bolt of boltiness.
Well, I mean, realistically, my force bolts are more accurate than my bolter bolts. So technically,
You could do a bolt of change.
no.
Could that turn him into a demon?
Spawn.
Can you not?
Oh my god, yes,
You're
do
just
that.
do the thing.
Okay,
Press the
force bolt.
button.
Go
Press the
for it.
button. I don't have any more rerolls. That was a 90. Well, I can see him. He's there. He's there, by the
even if
way.
you asked Zeke for help, I doubt that would help you. So.
Well, it didn't last time.
Don't do it.
We're not doing
So
that.
you've tried to summon the power, but you've drained a lot of your
I'm
energy.
just going to point.
Okie dokie.
Guys, he's there. Vox. That one. Just...
Then it's their turn. They're going to roll perception to see if they see you. They do see you, Sam. So one of them is going to turn around and poke his head up.
Oh,
Second Overwatch.
I was going to say, I haven't rescinded my Overwatch
It's-
yet.
Me neither. 19.
You only get one action a turn, though.
So that's
So you-
Yeah,
You've used it.
So he's now...
2 shots, because...
Yeah.
Yeah, both hits.
Pew pew.
Pew pew.
And it's...
So you walk round.
No, I'm
No, but I mean,
running.
you walked round and one stood up and he went, ha-ha, pa-pam, and then I've walked round and one stood up and he's gone, ha-ha.
Terry.
It's going well.
So
So that one.
15.
And then the second one.
Oh, yeah, he's
He's very dead. His head exploded.
So that tactic works quite well.
Okay.
So he
Was
shoots
that one
his
of the
head
melter
his
gunners?
helmet off and
Yes,
then
one
in
of
the
the
head.
outgoes. The rogue trader gets up and charges towards Jafar. You hear the lift go as well. The lift starts going back up.
Aren't I the only one down there?
No, Sam ran.
I thought you were up top.
Round the
Yeah,
edge of the...
so he's
yeah.
running up towards
Oh,
her.
he's running up the stairs. Oh,
Him.
bastard.
It is now. So the lift starts going up behind you. Roger, your turn.
I'm going to charge the last melter gunner.
This is a new run. This is a new round.
Yeah,
And he's not an Overwatch.
yeah, but haywire.
Should have now gone
Yeah,
to...
but I ran round it.
No, it's a circle. It's a pure
Yeah,
spiral.
last time I sprinted around it.
Yeah, but
Yeah, so if you
they're
enter it-
in the zone.
Oh, they're actually in
Yeah,
the circle.
That's why
Oh,
their
okay.
guns aren't working.
Can I?
This is why we're not getting melted.
Can I see them?
I'm fine with this.
Fine with me, not getting melted. Not getting melted is big and
They're
clever.
still hunkered down behind the corridors. The ones that poke their heads up
Yeah,
have
but
been shot.
Where are the cogitator banks? Because
So,
I
it's
so say
tiered
that is
up.
the bridge. We were here and they're here, and I went whoop 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 whoop.
Yeah, but then Sam did it as well, and they all turned around, didn't they?
So they're now in the open to those two.
Yeah.
So they are completely open to these two.
Well, no, they're trying to keep in cover, but you can't shoot them from where you are. You have to.
I'm going to shoot the rogue trader then because he's running.
Yeah,
with
you can
Sam.
shoot the rogue trader. That's fine.
Or can I charge the rogue trader?
And you'd have to get through several layers of cogitators before
Oh,
you got
okay.
to.
I mean,
And then
I will shoot the rogue trader.
Yeah.
1.
Oh, that's it. Yep.
So 18 pen 4 to his head.
Ooh, lovely. Let's.
That'll leave a mark.
Well, he's got 13 wounds left, so we just have to check his armor.
Dead.
All right. Well, I've got. I'll save you the time. 13 pen 4 to his head,
So what was the first
and then body.
19 pen 4 to his body afterwards.
one? All right. So he explodes in
so he
several
charges
shards.
me and I stand there and then he explodes.
Psychic powers.
You know in the losers,
Only there
Right,
is a
it's like-
boom, 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 bang, bang, bang.
and then the sniper in the other building is just like,
Okay.
Acknowledge.
There's 2 of them left, and the lift is going to start coming back down pretty soon. So what we're going to
if
do?
their
Someone turn the
captain's
lift off.
dead,
Sorry.
if their captain's dead,
come
He is
in.
very dead.
Come in.
They, like- give up.
They've got nowhere to go. You surrounded them.
Turn the lift off.
Come in, Acromantula. Come in, Acromantula. This is ring 1.
This is the Acumantula.
We have
Secured
secured
the
the bridge.
Good. Cut all life support systems to all levels. Flush the mortals out. We will start sending across crews to collect our prize.
Very well.
We probably shouldn't do that.
What? I was saying, okay.
Yeah, but if don't do it in his, you might upset him. He might think you're taking the piss.
Now, which ones of us is actually good at pressing buttons?
Biscuit for a biscuit.
We've still got to kill these last couple of
No, we
guys.
don't. We ordered them to press the buttons.
Press the buttons and we won't kill you.
Roll
but you're
intimidate.
switching the life support off, so it will kill you. But you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
They've rolled a 17, so they're pretty. They go, never. We will never surrender to traitors.
I shoot one.
How much did they pass by?
17.
Because you passed by 2 because you've also got fear.
Willpower's
which gives you plus
38.
10. You won by more.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
Yeah. So because of the fear, it'll be 2 degrees.
Is that how we're doing it in this stage? Does it work like
Oh
that?
no,
Is that
his will be
worth
the
it?
same with that.
Yeah. So defender wins.
I shoot him in the head.
And then turn to his other guy.
Cool. So
Same question.
he dies.
If we're now just intimidating people, I'm just going to walk up to one of the guys on the cogitator bank and eat his brain.
Okay. You do
That
that.
worked so well last time.
So I need to see. This will tell me what I need to do it.
It's not so much what you need to do, it's if you can press the buttons with your giant Space Marine
I'm
fingers.
telling you! Combat
No.
knife! Dit.
Once I know what to do, rip his hand off.
Ah, clever. Knew it.
It might be fingerprint
so roll-
sensitive as well.
It's the special dialing one.
Yes.
Cool.
I rolled a 3.
So you key in the command code to turn off life support to the ship.
Nasty.
There is a
And the
lot
lift,
of alarms
and the
start
lift.
going off.
And the lift. Turn the lift off.
And I will turn the lift off.
Chung, 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 chung. You get several Andrew Vox calls from Fourth Ring.
I know. I can just imagine. It's like, I know how to turn the
So,
lift.
actually,
throw the severed hand at a button on the wall.
sends the lift back down.
So,
I'll back up.
and the lift starts. So you turn life support off. It doesn't immediately kill everyone on the ship. That's not how life support works.
Yeah, it'll take a...
But anyone who you don't steal and take with you will eventually die. Which is fine for you. The Accomantia starts launching gunships and cargo haulers to try and collect your prize. But in all, a good day's work. And you've secured a lot of servitors for your ailing ship.
And we can loot the station as well.
And loot the station as well. And with that, we'll leave it there. Thank you
Well, that was a thing.
ever so much for watching this crazy adventure that we did. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we sort of did, bumbling through. Please like, share and subscribe all Garblag Games videos, not just this one, but go back, watch the rest of them and like, share and subscribe those. On Thursday we are going to be playing some Cyberpunk.
Carbon 2185?
Carbon 20, yeah.
2185.
That's going to be another one shot. That's going to be run by Pete, and I'll be playing that.
It might be seasonal flavoured.
Oh, Christmas Cyberpunk. So yes, thank you everyone for watching. Have a great rest of the evening or rest of the day, depending on when you're listening to this, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.